From the San Diego Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, California, on the CBS Radio Network and around the world on American Forces Radio, CBS Radio Sports presents the American Football Conference Championship game between the Oakland Raiders and the San Diego Chargers. Good afternoon, everybody. Jim Kelly, Lindsey Nelson alongside, and together we'll bring you all the action and excitement of today's game. We'll mark down the number 15. No, neither team has a 15 on their roster. Dan Fouts wears number 14, Jim Plunkett number 16. But number 15, you see it's 15 days, including today, before Super Bowl 15. It's been 15 years since San Diego has been in a championship game. And 15 is the number of wins that the San Diego Chargers have in this long-standing AFC series. The Raiders have won 25 games, and there have been 2 ties. This is the 43rd meeting between the Raiders and the Chargers, but the first time that these two teams have met for the championship in the AFC. And they have split their last 2 meetings each of the last 4 years. We're at the San Diego Chargers Jack Murphy Stadium here in San Diego. The Chargers playing the Oakland Raiders for the American Conference Football Championship will continue in 1 moment. As this 1981 AFC Championship game just seconds away, the winner goes on to the Super Bowl and meets the Philadelphia Eagles. And I guess it wouldn't be the AFC Championship if one of us didn't have a head cold. This year it's my turn. Over the last 4 years, Lindsey and I have been together. It's gone that way on alternate years. And it wouldn't be an AFC Championship. You talk about the last 4 years, I can honestly say I have never enjoyed working with a man more. Ladies and gentlemen, to call the game, Mr. Lindsey Nelson.
Thank you very much, Jim Kelly. Hello again, everybody. Oakland has won the toss. They will receive. Bernish to keep the ball up on the 35. Moody has dropped back along with Whittington to receive it. Ball is in the air, and it's over to Moody's side of the field. Moody at the 9, at the 10, to the 15, to the 20, 25. At the 29-yard line, he is upended, and that is where the Oakland Raiders start first and 10 at their own 29-yard line. So now the Oakland Raiders with Jim Plunkett, their resurrected quarterback, at the controls. Come out onto the field. Mark Van Egan, of course. Strong running back along with Kenny King. Their wide receivers are Bob Chandler and Cliff Bryant, and their tight end is Raymond Chester. Plunkett just now joining the huddle, having got final instructions from his head coach, Tom Flores. It is cloudy. It's overcast. The lights are on here at San Diego Jack Murphy Stadium. Wide receivers to the left and right, running back to Reeve and Duck. Jim Plunkett bending in to get the handoff for the first play of the ball game. Handing it off to Van Egan. Comes to the right side. Gets across the 30 and out to the 33-yard line. Mark Van Egan stopped by Leroy Jones.
Van Egan, of course, the leading ball carrier for the Oakland Raiders. 222 rushes during the year. 838 yards gained. Close to a 4-yard average. Scored 5 touchdowns. Van Egan, he rambled for about 3 yards, averaging the Oakland Raiders 2 playoff wins against the Cleveland Browns in the Ice Bowl at Municipal Stadium, and the other win against the Houston Oilers.
And Van Egan got 4 yards on his first carry to make it 2nd down and 6 yards to go. King in the left set now. Van Egan's in the right set. Wide receivers left and right. Handed off to King. Kenny King jitterbugging his way up. Stopped just short of the 35-yard line. Pushed back. It'll be spotted near the 34 for gain of only a yard, which will make it 3rd and 5. Linebackers Ray Preston and Bob Horn made the stop.
Ray Preston, that's a name that Lindsey will be calling very often for you this afternoon for the San Diego Chargers. Number 52, a 5-year veteran from Syracuse. 218-pounder, submarining there to clog up the middle, helped out by Louis Kelcher, that huge defensive tackle, 6'5", 282. Passing down for Plunkett.
And they double Chandler and Bright to the left side. Plunkett takes a look out there on the left wing. Bends in to take the snap now. Drops straight back. Takes a look. Goes over the middle and incomplete. Now it is completely deflected to Chester from King. He's at the 40, 35, 30. Chester's going to go all the way on a deflection from King. Chester takes it in for the touchdown. Successive receivers can touch the ball now, and it is complete. There was a time when that would not have been through. The play good for 61 yards. A deflected pass. It was over the middle to King, off his hands and into the hands of Chester. About 10 or 15 yards upfield. He took it and raced in for a 61-yard touchdown. What a start.
That's the way to silence the home crowd. Jimmy Plunkett, the rush was coming from his left. He saw Kelcher coming in, unloaded over the middle of the ball. Actually should have been caught by Kenny King. Deflected right into the waiting arms of big number 88, the veteran tight end, the 11-year veteran from Morgan State, Maryland, Raymond Chester. It goes as a 61-yard scoring strike from Plunkett. He's now had 21 touchdowns on the year, and the Raiders very early in this football game are out on top 6-0.
Chris Barr to attempt a conversion now. Chandler's holding for him, hand outstretched, waiting for the snap. Chandler puts it down. Chris Barr boots it up, and it's good. And so as they come back up the field now, it is the Raiders who have taken an early lead. The Raiders clad in black jerseys, and the hometown San Diego Chargers in their white here this afternoon, as the Oakland Raiders lead it by a score of 7-0. We had started to say there was a time when a deflection like that had to be touched by a defender in between before the second receiver would be eligible. The Raiders would know about that. Remember the immaculate reception against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Steelers against the Oakland Raiders, as a matter of fact. But in this case, it's completely legal and good for 61 yards. And so now, it will be the San Diego Chargers deploying. They're sending Hank Bauer deep along with Ron Smith. And Chris Barr will kick the ball off. He comes up to tee it up at the 35-yard line.
Suddenly, the San Diego Chargers find themselves looking at almost a mirror carbon copy of themselves, because as we have said so often, and we've been here in San Diego now for 3 consecutive weekends, it seems, the Chargers like to take the jet, not the local. They don't take the bus when they go up top very often, but this time the Oakland Raiders, 3 plays, 71 yards. They use a minute and a half, and they're on the board 7-zip.
Barr looks downfield now, waits for Cal Lepore, the referee's whistle. There it is, and here comes Barr. Puts it up over to Bauer side of the field. Hank Bauer at the 9-yard line to the 10 to the 15. Tries to cut back, cannot, and he's going to be dropped at about the 17-yard line. So the San Diego Chargers now get the ball. They start 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. It was Derek Jensen downfield to make the tackle.
So the first look we'll get at Dan Fouts, the outstanding quarterback, the Pro Bowl quarterback for the San Diego Chargers. His running backs will be Chuck Muncie, who came over from the New Orleans Saints, along with Mike Thomas. Muncie, that added dimension, power and speed.
They're bringing Joyner out to a wide left. Kellen Winslow is the tight end to the left side. Motion across, that's Jefferson. Dan Fouts waiting for the snap. Going to a high count on this first play. Fakes the handout to Muncie, and he's going long, way downfield to Smith, and Smith has got it at the 35, the 30. He is out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Ron Smith, the man that Dan Fouts hit on a 50-yarder to beat Buffalo, has taken the first long pass of the ball game for San Diego. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line of Oakland.
You can hear the home crowd in the background, that fight song once again. The crowd just a few seconds before stunned on the 61-yard pass completion from Plunkett to Ray Chester. Well, Dan Fouts just brought the crowd to their feet again. 53 yards of big first down to Ronnie Smith, the third-year man from San Diego State.
We knew these were 2 big play teams, and they have pulled off 2 big plays already. Wide receivers left and right, slot back to the right side. Motion across, that is Smith. Handing off to Muncie. Muncie comes to the left side. Can't get away, and he's thrown for a loss of 2 yards. Back at the 31-yard line. So it is a loss of 2 to make it 2nd down and 12 yards to go. Rod Martin came in to make the tackle for the Oakland Raiders.
Martin with the tackle, but the man who made the key play, number 55, the rookie from Penn State, Matt Millen. Of course, linebacker you would sometimes refer to. Millen, 260 pounds, but for 6'2", he's got great speed. He penetrated that time, forced Muncie to the outside, and that's where Rod Martin was waiting to throw him for a 2-yard loss.
Otis McKinney comes into the ballgame for a linebacker. Bob Nelson, who goes out. Jefferson in motion across. Wide receivers left and right. Jefferson comes set as a slot back right. Fouts is stopping back. Sets and throws, and Muncie can't hold it. Muncie coming out of the backfield, had it on his fingertips, could not hold on out in the right side. It's going to be 3rd down and 12 yards to go at the 31-yard line.
Again, it was Matt Millen, the man that made the play that Ray Fouts released the football a little soon. Millen clogging up the middle, coming on a blitz. Again, that's what Charlie Sumner, the defensive coordinator of the Oakland Raiders, tried to do in playoff wins against the Houston Oilers and against the Cleveland Browns. Blitz either the cornerback when the wide receiver did not line up on that side, or a linebacker, or in some cases both.
Mike Thomas comes into the ballgame. Chuck Muncie has come out. Jefferson and Joyner a double to the left side. Joyner in motion. Coming back now is Fouts to set up. And he hits Jefferson at the 15-yard line. 1st and 10 at the 15. Fouts to Jefferson. Burgess Owens made the tackle.
Well, you know that J.J., number 83, is going to get his 6 or 7 receptions. There is just no way you can single cover him one-on-one. Lester Hayes tried to stay with him at the line of scrimmage, tried to give him a little bump and run. J.J. just blew on by him, and that left it up to number 44, the former New York Jet, Burgess Owens, who tried to stay with him. The 8-year man from Miami was no match. Key first down as Fouts keeps the drive alive inside the 15-yard line of Oakland.
Greg McCrary, tight end, who was injured last week, is in the ballgame now at tight end for the San Diego Chargers. First and 10 at the 15. Fouts drops back. Sets up, looks, goes to the cross, threw it away, incomplete. Found nobody open and simply threw it away across the end line. So it's going to be second and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Fouts that time looked on the post pattern for John Jefferson. He was clogged up, double covered by Lester Hayes and by Burgess Owens. Looked over in the right flat for number 22, Mike Thomas. He was covered by the linebacker, and Fouts that time wisely threw it away for the long incompletion, second down from inside the 15.
The question is whether or not Greg McCrary would be able to play. He had injured the transverse processes of his back and had been seeing scant action in practice. Otis McKinney comes in defensively now for the Oakland Raiders. Jefferson going across, that loosens up Kellen Winslow to a wide left. Fouts now going to a higher count, gets the snap, drops back. And he pumps it. And it's intercepted at the 9-yard line. And returned to the 15, to the 20, and on out to the 25-yard line. Interception for the Oakland Raiders, who take it over. First and 10, it was Lester Hayes with another interception. Lester Hayes, who had 13 and then 2 in each of the playoff games so far, picked it off. And with the score, Oakland 7 and San Diego nothing. Let's take time out.
Sam, as your accountant, I'm advising you to do something about your office copiers.
What's wrong, George?
You keep replacing them all the time. That's expensive, Sam, and peculiar.
But my copying needs keep changing, so I have to keep changing my copier. That's the way life is.
You have to get a big, expensive, inflexible copier that's just as big, just as expensive, and just as inflexible as your last big, expensive, inflexible copier. That's life.
That isn't life?
Sam, next time, get a Sharp 800 series plain paper copier with microprocessor technology.
Oh?
The basic copier, the high-speed copier, the reduction copier, doesn't matter.
No.
Sharp copiers are all flexible. As your needs change, you don't go out and get another copier. You add options. You need automatic document feeding, you get an option. You need electronic collating, you get an option, you see?
Yeah.
Flexible.
Now I see what they mean when they say sharp people plan ahead. For more information, call your local authorized Sharp dealer or 800-447-4700. In Illinois, call 800-322-4400.
Number 37, Lester Hayes, has just picked off his 18th pass on the year, the 4-year man from Texas A&M, and he's going to get better. He is already perhaps the premier cornerback in the National Football League. Actually, on that interception, Lindsey, that was not the fault of Dan Fouts. The receiver, John Jefferson, fell down at about the 4-yard line, and the ball was right into the midsection of Lester Hayes, and had it not been for that saving tackle, Hayes would have gone the length of the football field.
As it is, Oakland has the ball first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They have a 7-point lead. We're in the first quarter, 11 minutes, 25 seconds remaining in this period. Here come the black and silver-clad Oakland Raiders, wide receivers left and right. Chandler to the right side, Cliff French to the left side. Van Egan's the lone setback. Kenny King on a wing left. Van Egan gets it, tries the left side, and gets across for a yard or so, and that's all before Fred Dean. A defensive right end comes in to make the tackle. Incidentally, Bob Desjournay, who broke a leg last week, is on the injured reserve and was replaced by Lyndon King, a linebacker. The ball is spotted at the 26-yard line. That'll make it second down. 9 yards to go, a pickup of 1 yard on the play. Here comes Cliff French out to a wide left. Bob Chandler to a wide right. They even up the running backs for Jim Plunkett. Plunkett bends in now. There's a handoff to Kenny King. He tries the right side, wants to cut back, gets to the 30, and he's pulled down squarely at the 30-yard line by linebacker Ray Preston.
That's a great play by Preston, because out there throwing the block, number 65, Mickey Marvin, 6'4", 270 in his 5th year from Tennessee. Preston just slid along the line of scrimmage, waited for Marvin to make his move, and then dove in and brought down Kenny King. Of course, that's the key for the Chargers. They want to contain King, keep him inside. Van Egan, you know, is going to get his 60, 70, maybe 80 yards inside, punching it over the middle, the veteran from Colgate. You want to contain the speedster, Kenny King.
Now they are doubling Chandler and Blanche to the left side. Jim Plunkett with his running backs evened up, waiting for the snap. Drops back. Scrambles out of the pocket, and now still scrambling. Throws the ball, and it is incomplete. And the referee whistled the ball dead, I think, back at the 20-yard line. And he's got to spot it back there. It is being spotted on the 20-yard line. As Charles Laporte whistled it dead there, assuming that the quarterback was in the grasp and control. of a San Diego Charger, and so that will bring on Ray Guy. Ray Guy, who has averaged almost 45 yards per kick in the playoffs. Mike Fuller has dropped back to field the punt, while the San Diego Charger standing on his own 35. Ray Guy, a fellow who has been throughout his career almost in the class by himself. As a punter, gets those high trajectory kicks up there that are easily covered and carry a long, long way. He's waiting for the snap on his own 6. Guy puts it up. Long, high spiraling kick, driving Fuller back, and he takes it at the 21-yard line. He's back to the 25, to the 30, and Fuller is stopped at the 34-yard line. So the Chargers will have it 1st and 10. Derek Jensen made the tackle. 57-yard punt.
And a penalty flag thrown down at about the 41-yard line of the Oakland Raiders, so Cal Lepore will have a conclave and talk it over. It is against the Oakland Raiders, and let's see whether they will have Ray Guy come back in.
Ineligible downfield. In other words, only the outside men can go before the ball is kicked, so ineligible downfield gives an option to the San Diego Chargers.
On the preceding play, it was Gary Johnson, big number 79, the defensive tackle, 6'3", 252 from Grambling, who had quarterback Jim Plunkett, as you said, in grasp and control. He certainly was that.
Well, Gary Johnson gets back there a lot. He had 17 sacks during the season as San Diego had 60. They're going to bring this one back.
He was the leader in the NFL in sacking the quarterback. I read somewhere 17 and a half, and you can explain how you get the half sack.
Well, you have help, I guess. Or you pull down one arm. Ball is back to the 15-yard line. Now we'll hear Carol Lepore explain it.
Downfield, kicking team, still 4th down.
All right, Cal, illegal downfield, still 4th down, and Ray Guy comes back onto the field to boot it again. Fuller moves up. He's at his own 35 now. Still cloudy and overcast. We had a little rain in San Diego this morning and a little bit last night.
Hasn't rained here for, 200 days?
That's right. Ray Guy standing back at his own 1-yard line.
200 days. That's the last time you were home.
That's just about it. Guy hand out stretch, gets the snap, puts it up. High trajectory kick again. Fuller calls for a fair catch. Makes it at the 37-yard line. So the San Diego Chargers start 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line. There's a timeout on the field with the score Oakland 7, San Diego nothing.
No matter the season, WIER Sports takes you there.
Now Hargrave wide. Here's the pitch. Struck him out! He struck him out swinging! We're going to the final game.
Harris slowed it up. Cook nearly had the ball taken away. There's Hampton from 20. Shot's good. Ricky Hampton hit it. The play wasn't over.
For the sports as it happens. Hear it here on WIER.
When the shepherds of Bethlehem told their friends all they had seen and heard, these friends were filled with wonder. That's a good thing to have, wonder. Thomas Carlyle said a man who cannot wonder is but a pair of spectacles behind which there are no eyes. Though the great season of celebration is past, at least keep alive in your soul this ability to wonder and to praise. This is Len Brummett of the First Christian Church with a thought for today, because station WIER cares.
Jim Kelly, Lindsey Nelson back at San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium. 9:17 left to go, and a wild and woolly first quarter here where the Oakland Raiders struck very quickly. A 61-yard deflected pass off the arms of the intended receiver, Kenny King, number 33, into the waiting and large arms of tight end Ray Chester. And the big 11-year veteran from Morgan State, 6'4", 235, lumbered into the Charger end zone. Chris Barr's conversion made it 7-0 Oakland, and that's where we stand right now. Chargers threatened, but then Lester Hayes with his 18th interception ended that Charger drive.
1st and 10 now for the Chargers. The ball outside the 38-yard line. Greg McCurry, the tight end. Here's a quick pitch taken by Chuck Muncie to the left side. Gets it up for about a yard to the 39-yard line. To make it 2nd down and 9 yards to go at the 39.
I still like the message board here. There was a message that said a few seconds ago, to Carol, I love you, Tony. But the one I'm still trying to figure out was 2 weeks ago. Said, thank you, Debbie, for finally saying yes, love Wolfgang. That's
2nd down, 9 yards to go for the Chargers. They held the ball at their own 39-yard line, trailing by 7 points in the ball game. Winslow in motion all the way across. Dropping back his Fouts. He whips it complete to Joyner across the 50-yard line. Charlie joined to the 49. Hit immediately by Dwayne Osteen on the corner, but the veteran receiver gets it in for another first down.
And Fouts never saw the completion. Ted Hendricks, 6'7", 225, the 12-year veteran from Miami. Former Hurricane is exactly that as he came roving in from the right side, putting all kinds of pressure on Fouts and knocked him down. Fouts didn't see the completion, but it is, as Lindsey called it, a first down.
Outside the 48-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. Here comes Joyner to the left side. Kellen Winslow going to wide right. McCrary is the tight end of the ball game. Dropping back is Fouts. Sets up, scrambles out now. Long time, throwing long to Joyner in the end zone, and he's got it. Touchdown. With two men around him, Charlie Joyner pulled it in for the touchdown. Another big play in a big play ball game. These fans are ecstatic in San Diego.
Dwayne Osteen and Burgess Owens can simply not believe it, and I'm not sure Charlie Joyner can either. It was a desperation play. Fouts had no one short over the middle to throw to. He dropped back. The big rush was coming by the Oakland Raiders. Looked left, looked right, looked left again, and finally just put it up, hoping Joyner could run underneath it. Joyner did exactly that, splitting between the two defenders, went up with one hand, bounced it back to another, and came down with a two-hand reception between Dwayne Osteen and Burgess Owens.
Fuller puts the ball down. Vernushka boots it up, and it's good. And the score is tied. San Diego Chargers have come back, and now with the score. San Diego 7, Oakland 7. Let's take time out.
This is Larry Zonka. When you've played football as long as I have, you really appreciate a tough line. That's why I think you'll appreciate what Whirlpool's line of tough gas furnaces can do for your heating bills. Beginning with a tight fist gas furnace and moving right down the line, these Whirlpool furnaces have the toughness to meet high heating bills head on and help you save money all season. Believe me, if Whirlpool didn't have the toughest line around, I wouldn't stand behind it. So get a Whirlpool gas furnace. Check the yellow pages for your nearest Whirlpool dealer.
Here's how to talk your chauffeur into the idea of Buick's little limousine, the 1981 Century sedan. First, point out the Buick quality. Next, show him the elegantly appointed interior. Then point out the trim, intelligent lines and V6 engine. If he argues that limousines are supposed to be large and expensive and the Century is neither, tell him when he starts making the payments, he can pick out the car.
We've played less than half of the first quarter. We have seen a 61-yard scoring strike from Jim Plunkett to Ray Chester, a 48-yard bomb, Dan Fouts to Charlie Joyner, and we are deadlocked 7-all.
Ralph Benershka kicking off from the 35, puts it up. It's over to Whittington's side of the field. He takes it at the 10. He's at the 15 to the 20. And it stops at the 24-yard line. So that is where the Oakland Raiders will begin. Cliff Frith downfield to make the tackle.
In case you thought this was going to be a defensive struggle, forget it. The Raiders lost to the Chargers here in San Diego, the second game of the season in overtime, by a score of 30-24, and then in Oakland, the Raiders reversed the score, 38-24, so it's almost whoever's got the ball last will go on to Super Bowl 15 and play the Philadelphia Eagles.
That's the way it seems as Jim Plunkett comes out now. He took over at quarterback, resurrected, as it were, and Danny Pastorini went out with an injury. Plunkett, who had been picked up a couple of years ago by the Oakland Raiders when he was cut loose for the San Francisco 49ers, came on to start him. First and 10 at the 24-yard line. Wide receivers left and right. Plunkett dropping straight back. Looking and going long down the left sideline. Bryce, and it is incomplete. Deflected incomplete as Bryce was trying to pull Mike Williams to the inside and then peel off to make the catch, but it's an incomplete attack.
Also over there to help out was number 27, the former Pittsburgh Steeler, Glenn Edwards, the 10-year veteran from Florida A&M. Plunkett that time looking at Branch the entire way. Actually underthrew his receiver. Branch had a step on number 29, as Lindsey called it, Mike Williams, then came back for the ball and actually almost completed it.
Second down, 10 yards to go at the 24. Chapman to the right side. Cliff Price to the left side. Running back evened up. Kenny King and Mark Van Egan. Plunkett with the ball, dropping back again. Flips as he starts to set up, and he stopped. As he started to set up, he skidded and went down. So it's going to be marked just short of the 15-yard line. Loss of about 9 on the play. To make it 3rd and 19 at the 15.
Even though Plunkett did slip, it'll be credited as a San Diego sack. That's the second sack of the football game. Gary Johnson had one. Plunkett that time on the slip return. Remember, even though the field was covered, it did rain and some moisture did seep on through. Plunkett was sacked 36 times during the regular season, now faced with 3rd and long.
Defensively for San Diego, Hal Stringer has come in. Deep back for Bob Horn, a linebacker. In anticipation of a certain pass on 3rd and 19. They're in a slot right. Angling out to the right side. Spinning out there is Plunkett. And looking and throwing on the run. And Branch is there, and he's got it. Edwards pulled him down at the 37-yard line. Glenn Edwards on the tackle. Cliff Branch on the catch. 1st and 10 now for the Oakland Raiders at the San Diego 37-yard line.
What a play by Leroy Jones, number 68. 6'8", 260, a 5-year man from Norfolk State in Virginia, as he just blew by the left side of that Raider offensive line and came around to put all kinds of pressure on Jimmy Plunkett, but for that time, Plunkett had let the ball go. Cliff Branch, you can't cover him one-on-one, just like you can't single coverage Charlie Joyner. Branch's initial catch of the football game, good for 48 yards, and a key Raider first down inside the San Diego 42-yard line.
Derek Ramsey's coming to tight end. Raymond Chester's gone off the field. Branch wide to the left side, Chandler to the right. 1st and 10, the running backs are evened up now for Jim Plunkett. Handing it off to Mark Van Eegen, tries the left side, finds a little daylight and gets to the 32-yard line. Picked up 5 on the play, Fred Dean. Made the stop, so it's going to be 2nd down and 5 yards to go.
3rd carry for Van Eegen, a total of 10 yards in the football game. Mark Van Eegen, veteran from Colgate, the Raiders' all-time leading career rusher with 5,757 yards, 1,436 carries. Somebody stopped me in Philadelphia last week and said how much they enjoyed listening to you and I do the ball game. But they said, will you please tell us whether the team is going left to right or right to left? They try to picture it in their mind's eye. So we will tell them the Raiders are going from our left to our right.
They are, in fact. 2nd down, 5 yards to go. Plunkett dropping back. He sets up now, chased out of the pocket, and he tries to run it, but he is pulled down. An ankle tackle by Louis Kelcher. You hear the crowd with the chant of "Woo!" It's going to be no gain. It's spotted at the 32-yard line.
And it's a good thing for the San Diego Chargers that Lou, number 74, Kelcher, 6'5", 282 from SMU, got to Jimmy Plunkett because Branch was running a deep route to the right side, and over in the left corner of the end zone, all alone, was number 33, Kenny King. The Raiders now faced with a 3rd down situation. They're 2 of 3 on 3rd down conversions.
Wilbur Young is coming to the ballgame. Kelcher's gone out. Hal Stringer is in. Linebacker Bob Horn is out. Todd Christensen in the ballgame for the Oakland Raiders. He is in place of Van Eegen. That's Kenny King in motion out to the left side. Dropping back is Plunkett. Puts it up to Christensen. And his penalty marker is thrown. Penalty marker is thrown well downfield inside the 10-yard line. Incomplete as the ball bounded away, and we'll get the call here from the official downfield.
The pass was intended for number 46, Todd Christensen.
Todd Christensen, for whom the pass was intended, coming out of the backfield, the 2nd-year man from BYU. His only career reception was the winning touchdown against the Houston Oilers, you might recall.
Defensive pass interference. 2, defense, 1st down. Ray Preston, number 52, guilty of pass interference, makes it a 1st and 10. It's spotted at the 11-yard line. Score tied 7-7, 4 minutes, 36 seconds remaining to be played in the first quarter. Chandler and Branch are double to the left side. Running backs are evened up. Chester's back in the ballgame at tight end. This is Kenny King going to the left side. A penalty marker thrown. That's the line of scrimmage. He's cut down at the 11-yard line, which is the line of scrimmage. Woody Lowe in to make the tackle for San Diego.
Woody Lowe, of course, the hero of that Chargers win in overtime against the Miami Dolphins. Here's referee Cal Lepore with the preliminary signal offside against the San Diego Chargers. And, of course, with next to nothing picked up on the running play, the Raiders will take it. If you get the idea, Lindsey, this is going to be a long afternoon for the cornerbacks and the safeties. The Oakland Raiders with just 15 yards on the ground, and San Diego with a -1.
Encroachment, lining up in the neutral zone, 71, defense, 1st down. That's Fred Dean. Makes his 1st down and 5 yards to go at the 6.
Used to be just offside. Now it's encroachment, lining up in the neutral zone.
That's the big word for offside. You're right. As the ball is spotted, it's nearer the 7, so call it 1st down and 5 inside the 7-yard line. Plunkett waiting for the snap, tight alignment, gives it off to Kenny King, tries the left side, drives just inside the 5-yard line. Spotted near the 5 as Louis Kelcher back in there made the tackle.
Some kind of game for Kelcher, clogging up the middle. The 6-year veteran from SMU, 6'5", 282. Some kind of hole to clog up. Kenny King, of course, the outside threat. That time they tried to run him inside. And the Chargers doing a pretty good job of sealing off the middle. King now 3 carries for just 7 yards.
2nd down, 3 yards to go. The ball is spotted on the 5-yard line for the Oakland Raiders as they come out of the huddle now and up to the line. Kenny King in the left set. Mark Van Egen's in the right set. Cliff Branch is in the slot right. Chandler's in a wide right. Plunkett dropping back and looking right. And now he's scrambling out and heading for the end zone, and Plunkett slides in for the touchdown. He just slid at the goal line and got in there for the touchdown. As he was looking right all the way, and then he looked back to the left, saw that he had a shot at getting all the way into the end zone, slid into second base, as it were, as he got to the goal line. So the Oakland Raiders have their second touchdown of the afternoon.
And that's the third rushing touchdown of the season for Jim Plunkett. Looking right the whole way, looking for Cliff Branch. That time they cleared off the left side. The linebacker stayed with Kenny King, who was going into the left corner of the end zone. And Plunkett had about 11 yards of unimpeded turf to ramble over for the go-ahead score.
Bob Chandler's in the hole now for Chris Barr on the conversion attempt. Down on one knee, Chandler puts the ball down. Barr boots it up, and it's good. So there's a pause in the action, and let's take time out.
This bud's for all the men in black and white. Yeah, to the guys who always have the last word. Here's to the referee.
There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. So here's to you. You know it isn't only what you say, it's what you do. It's what you do.
Just for you guys who blow the whistle and fling the flag. Here's that distinctively clean, crisp taste that says Budweiser.
I don't always agree with him, Jack, but where would we be without him?
Well, sometimes you'd be about 15 yards closer to the goal line.
It's what for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through.
You deserve it, refs, so take time out after the game for a cold Bud. It just might be your best call all day.
For all you do.
This Bud's for you.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Jim Kelly and Lindsey Nelson back with you from San Diego. We played just over 12 minutes of football in the first quarter. We've got 21 points on the board so far. The Raiders that time go out in front on a 3-yard touchdown run by Jimmy Plunkett. 76 yards, 7 plays. The key play, Lindsey, the 48-yard pass completion on third down. Plunkett to Cliff Branch to keep that drive alive.
Chris Barr will kick it off now. He's teed the ball up at the 35-yard line. Ron Smith has dropped back along with Hank Bauer. Frank Duncan is center deep, and here is the kickoff. It is in the air. It is over to Hank Bauer's side of the field. He is waiting at the 6-yard line. He's back to the 10. Goes right now to the 15. Tries to get outside pass to the 20, and that's the end of the line. So the Chargers will start first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
And back comes the rifle arm of Dan Fouts, setting several passing records this year. Most attempts, 589. Most completions, 348. Most yards, 4,715. And most 300-yard-plus passing games, a total of 8.
McCrary back in that tight end again. When McCrary went out last week, that meant that Kellen Winslow had to play the tight end position, do the blocking on the line of scrimmage, and he had only one reception. That was for 5 yards. So the San Diego Chargers knew they had to do something about that. They were hopeful that McCrary could play, and he is playing. First and 10 at the 20-yard line. They're in the slot left, motion back toward the inside. Hand it off to Muncie. Muncie takes a wrinkle and goes outside, drops the ball, but he goes across the sideline marker, right at the line of scrimmage. Muncie dropped the ball as he went across the sideline marker on the right side. So it's simply no gain, second and 10 at the 20-yard line.
And it dribbled the ball out of bounds like Lloyd All-World III, who used to play in this very town for the San Diego Clippers in the NBA. Chuck Muncie coming over from the New Orleans Saints, sometimes prone toward fumbleitis, rambled out of bounds, but he had last possession, so the ball stays to the Chargers. I like the doctor's explanation on Greg McCrary, why he is able to play. He said, everything that's possibly can be broken is already broken. There's no danger. Well, there's no danger to the doctor.
Exactly. Handoff and penalty flags. Muncie takes the ball for 1 yard to the 21, but there are flags on either side of the field. Matt Millen, the fine rookie linebacker for Oakland, made the tackle.
There is a penalty flag on the play.
So they're checking out the penalty on the field now. Spotted at the 22.
Chargers backing up. That was Muncie's fourth carry of the football game for just 3 yards. Again, as this drive began, the Chargers had a minus 1 yard rushing. Here's California.
Legal motion, number 6-7. Offense, the penalty fine. It is third down.
That's Ed White, a pulling guard. Penalty is declined. Since there was a gain of 2 yards, it'll be 3rd and 8 at the 22-yard line.
He pulled out of Minnesota. He had enough of that frozen weather up there.
He knew. Traded for Ricky Young. Dan Fouts now dropping back, setting up. Looks up the middle, throws up the middle to Kellen Winslow, incomplete. The big tight end had it on his fingertips, so it is McKinney covering. It's an incompletion to make it 4th and 8. That'll bring on the punting unit for San Diego.
And you won't see the second-year man from Missouri, Kellen Winslow, drop too many of those. He had beaten the coverage outside the 40-yard line, would have been a San Diego first down. He was Dan Fout's favorite receiver. He was the leading pass catcher on the San Diego Chargers that had 3 receivers over 1,000 yards. First time in NFL history any team has had 3 receivers over 1,000 yards. First time we'll see Rick Partridge this afternoon.
Rick Partridge waiting for the snap, and Ira Matthews is back there to receive it. He's been on the injury list. Here's the kick high and comparatively short. Matthews standing at his 38-yard line, gets to his 40, hits to his 45, and to the 50-yard line and goes out of bounds. That's the midfield marker. So it'll be excellent field position for the Oakland Raiders as Cliff Thrift again made the tackle on Ira Matthews. First and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Partridge, who has had some punting problems, shanked one last week against the Buffalo Bills for just a total of 14 yards. This time got off a 41-yard punt, but a good return by Matthews, and he sets up the Raiders in good field position inside the midfield stripe, about the 49-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. Raiders have enjoyed good field position most of this football game, and because of the passing of Jim Plunkett and the receptions of Cliff Branch, are on top by a score of 14-7. Of course, the winner goes on to Super Bowl 15 2 weeks from today in New Orleans. That game on CBS Radio with Jack Buck and Hank Stram. And certainly, congratulations to the Philadelphia Eagles. A very impressive win, 20-7 over the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC Championship game at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia this afternoon. A couple of ironies, I suppose. The fact that the Philadelphia Eagles won the NFC East, and in the championship game, we're playing the wild card Dallas Cowboys from their division. Similarly, the Chargers winning the AFC West, and they've got the wild card Oakland Raiders here. So the two teams that are playing in the conference championships today, they know each other's style. They play them twice a year. They know each other very well. They know what they have to do to beat them.
The weather a little bit better here in San Diego than it seemed to be in Philadelphia this afternoon for the football game. The temperature predicted high here between 65 and 70. The high yesterday was 75 degrees. It is cloudy and overcast, although we're seeing a considerable amount of blue sky overhead just now. As the Oakland Raiders come out of the huddle up to the line, first and 10 at the 50-yard line, they double Chandler and Bryce to the left side.
Is it true that Stram changed wardrobes at halftime, put on a different top coat?
I'm sure it is. Now, hiding the ball and dropping back, Plunkett looks left and throws, and it's complete. Taken by Chandler on the left side, and he is pulled down at the 34-yard line. Mike Williams on the tackle. And it's going to be brought to the inbounds marker and spotted at the 34.
That's why Al Davis went to get Bob Chandler, ex-Buffalo Bill. He averaged 49 catches this year, almost 16 yards every time he got the ball. His longest for 56 yards and 10 touchdowns. His first grab this year was right on the money, 16-yard pickup. That time the receiver, Mike Williams, way off the ball, a good 6-7 yards shy. This time Chandler wide to the right side.
The Raiders are leading 14-7 and driving, and the hometown fans are getting a little disturbed. On the ground this time to Van Egan. He drives to the 30-yard line before Ray Preston comes to make the tackle. Make that Kenny King on the carry. Again, a 4 yards will be second and 6 at the 30-yard line.
A couple of those matchups we mentioned at the top that you have to watch. The matchup over on the left side of that Raider offensive line. Art Shell, Gene Upshaw, 27 years NFL experience between them, working against that San Diego Charger front side. Gary Johnson and Fred Dean, and so far it's been the veterans, Lindsey, that have been holding him off. And if you give Plunkett time to throw, he's going to find a Bob Chandler or a Cliff Branch.
Second down play coming now. Wide receivers left and right. Plunkett dropping back. Sets it up and throws out to the left side. It's complete out there. Taken by Chester. He goes out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Mike Williams, the cornerback over there.
It looks as if the Oakland Raiders have stolen a little bit of the San Diego Chargers playbook. They're sending everybody out. They're utilizing all the receivers. That time, Ray Chester, 6'4", 235, the 11-year veteran from Morgan State, simply down and out about 12 yards and waited for the defense to clear. They had to pick up Branch, who was running a deep post pattern, and Chandler had cleared it out. And Branch on the crossing pattern, and that left Raymond Chester wide open. Kenny King looped out of the backfield. So Plunkett has 4 or 5 receivers to throw to, and you give him that much time, he's going to complete the pass.
Derek Ramsey in at the tight end. Now Raymond Chester's come out of the ball game. First and 10 at the 21-yard line. Again, Plunkett dropping back. And he throws into the end zone, and it is taken by Kenny King for the touchdown. Kenny King took it going in full stride for the touchdown. Ray Preston, the linebacker, covering.
Jim Plunkett has figured in all 3 of the Raiders' scores. He is now tossed for 2. He's run for 1. And this crowd right now is extremely stunned. I would say there are about 300 or 400 Oakland fans directly behind the Raider bench. You certainly can pick them out in this sea of blue and gold and yellow because they're wearing just like their favorites, the black and silver. There were some that said the good guys are wearing white today and the bad guys are wearing black.
Conversion attempt coming now. Chandler will be holding. Chris Farr will attempt it. He's 2 for 2 so far today. His third attempt of the afternoon. Chandler puts it down. Barr boots it up, and it's good. He's 3 for 3, and as they come back up the field, the Oakland Raiders have gone out in front by a score of 21-7, and we have 1 minute 35 seconds remaining to be played in the first quarter under cloudy skies in San Diego, California.
Well, you look at the Oakland Raiders' drive so far, Lindsey. They take the opening kickoff. They went 71 yards in 3 plays, 61 yards Plunkett to Ray Chester. This last drive goes 49 yards. They used just 4 plays. Their longest scoring drive was 7 plays, 76 yards. Of course, the key pass, Plunkett to Cliff Branch. They've got 21 points, and the Chargers, I think, are stunned right now, certainly defensively. The offense cannot carry the load. There's no way you're going to match point for point and have this go on all afternoon. The San Diego defense has got to shore themselves up a little bit, certainly put some pressure on Jim Plunkett, but the secondary has got to do a better job. You can't rely simply on that San Diego offense to match this kind of point production.
Ball is spotted at the 35-yard line now for Chris Barr. Smith is dropped back along with Bauer. The ball is in the air, end over end to Hank Bauer. He fields it at the 10-yard line. He's up to the 15 to the 20. Runs into a stack of bodies at the 25-yard line. It'll be first and 10 for the Chargers. They will start at their own 25 on the return by Hank Bauer. Stop by Mario Salato.
So Dan Fouts, 52 of 83 in the 2 meetings against the Oakland Raiders, 775 yards, 4 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Trots back to the helm right now. Operates first and 10 from the own 25-yard line. The Oakland Raiders, despite the Ice Age conditions at Cleveland Stadium, did shut down one of the top passers in the National Football League in Brian Seif last week.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line. Ron Smith over into a wing left now, lone setback. That's Muncie. And it is Ron Smith on a wing back around, a wing back reverse, and it's going nowhere. As a matter of fact, a loss of a yard. Otis McKinney read that one out and dropped Ron Smith coming from the wing left around. Back at the 24-yard line, second down, 11 yards to go.
139 yards passing so far in this football game for the Oakland Raiders. 123 yards passing for the San Diego Chargers, but the big difference is time of possession, and the Raiders have 3 touchdowns to San Diego's 1.
4 down linemen, 5 defensive backs now for the Oakland Raiders on a second down and 11 yards to go for the San Diego Chargers. Jefferson in motion back to the inside. It swung out to the left flat to Muncie. Muncie at the 25 gets only to the 26-yard line. As he took the pass out in the left flat. Game 2 is going to be 3rd and 9, and Rod Martin was the man who closed him off.
Of course, this Oakland defense, they did that job last week at Cleveland Stadium against the Browns, came up with the interception. Lester Hayes and all of his secondary mates when they had to. The big interception, of course, on a somewhat questionable call. Many felt that Sam Rutigliano should have gone for the field goal rather than risk putting it up in the interception, but he disdained that. 1 out of 3, the Chargers now on 3rd down conversions.
Joyner in motion across. Mike Thomas is the lone setback. Fouts hurries back. Pops it over the middle, and it's complete to Joyner to the 40 to the 45. First and 10 at the 46-yard line. Charlie Joyner, the veteran receiver, took it. And there's the end of the first quarter with the score. The Oakland Raiders 21, the San Diego Chargers 7.
Jim Kelly, Lindsey Nelson, back at San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium. We played 15 minutes of football in the AFC Championship game. The Raiders 21, the Chargers 7. Oakland has a total of 7 first downs. San Diego with 5. Big difference in rushing. The Raiders have carried on the ground for 25 yards, just 3 on the ground for San Diego. Jim Plunkett is 5 out of 6 with 2 scoring strikes, and his counterpart Dan Fouts 6 out of 10 in the passing department. 148 yards for the Chargers, 158 yards for Oakland, but a big disparity on the point production.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line of the Chargers in their own territory. Dan Fouts handing it off, and it's taken this time by Thomas, and Mike Thomas gets only to the 50 and just across it. Ted Hendricks and Willie Jones coming in to make the tackle at the 49. Second down, about 7 yards to go. The Chargers set an NFL record for first downs in a single season during the regular season with 372. The previous record, 350, set to the Cleveland Browns back in 1979. Ball is just across the 50-yard line as Joyner goes to the left side and John Jefferson to the right. Winslow is in a wing right. He's in motion across. Kellen Winslow. Thomas the lone setback. Retreating. Penalty marker thrown. Fouts throws, and it is downfield and picked off at the 19-yard line by Otis McKinney. An interception for Otis McKinney, but keep in mind there's a marker to be checked out. At the line of scrimmage. It's being reported to Cal Lepore. We'll get a preliminary signal, presumably from Lepore. Dan Fouts near him. Offsides against Oakland will nullify the interception.
Well, that would have been the second interception of the football game, one by Lester Hayes, the other by Otis McKinney, a very concerned man over on both sidelines. Actually, Tom Flores, head coach of the Oakland Raiders, and right now, Don Coryell of the San Diego Chargers, who is trailing by 14 points. The ball a little bit underthrown that time. Otis McKinney, the third-year man from Colorado, stepped in front of Kellen Winslow, the big tight end, the leading receiver of Danny Fouts, who actually underthrew him that time.
It'll be spotted now at the 44-yard line of Oakland. Second down and 2 yards to go for the San Diego Chargers, and Thomas comes off the field now. Back in the huddle, the San Diego Chargers. Coming up to the line now, Muncie is the lone setback in the ball game. They double Jonah and Jefferson to the left side. Now move Kellen Winslow out to a wide right. Dan Fouts throws it out to Kellen Winslow on a screen right. He's going to throw, and Winslow throws, and it's complete to Jefferson, who makes a diving catch at the 16-yard line. He popped it up into the air and caught it the second time. First and 10 at the 16-yard line, and it's that kind of a football game.
It is indeed that, and what an arm Kellen Winslow displayed. I mean, he threw it 45 yards in the air, and he threw that ball to Jefferson on a rope. There was no doubt about it. J.J. was out there, came back for the ball a little bit, took kind of a funny bounce off his shoulder pads, but with a good concentration, John pulled it on down. Sideline right, it went to Winslow, pumped it about 45 yards in the air. He hit J.J. at the 15, pulled it on in, right in front of number 35 for the Oakland Raiders, Dwayne Osteen.
Now the handoff to Muncie. A penalty marker is thrown, and Muncie drives to the 11-yard line. The linesman's flag that'll have to be checked out.
He picked up 4 yards.
That infraction being reported to referee Cal Lepore, who will give us a preliminary signal. Illegal procedure against the San Diego Chargers. We are informed that was Kellen Winslow's first forward pass as a professional.
Well, the second-year man from Missouri showed that he can throw it. If they've had that play in the book, they've certainly kept it under wraps, because there was no doubt in Winslow's mind who he was throwing to, and he put it right in there.
Illegal formation, offense, only 6 men in the line of scrimmage. First.
If Fouts goes down, does Winslow come in?
Tell you, he threw that like a pitcher who just got the sign for a fastball, and he gunned it. First and 15 at the 21-yard line. Mike Thomas back in as a lone setback. Motion across. That's Winslow. Out. Set. Throws it out to Thomas on the right side. He cut back to the inside to the 20, and that's all. Fouts wanted to throw to Winslow down the right corner. Matt Millen made the tackle on Thomas, who did receive it finally and picked up only a yard to make it second and 14.
Winslow wanted him to throw to Winslow, but right there was the all-pro cornerback number 37 with one INT already in the afternoon, Lester Hayes. So now they will go to the nickel defense, the Oakland Raiders will, on second down and long, anticipating the pass for Dan Fouts, who so far in the afternoon has completed passes totaling 149 yards, 7 of 11.
Here comes Jefferson out to a wide left, Joyner to a wide right. Winslow is in a slot left, Jefferson in motion across. That loosens up Winslow to a wide out on the left side. Thomas the lone setback. Out, dropping back to set up. And he throws it, and it is intercepted at the 1-yard line on a deflection. Picked off by Burgess Owens. He is returning it upfield, gets across the 20, the 25, the 26-yard line. On a deflection, it was taken by Burgess Owens. The Oakland Raiders have the ball first and 10 at about the 26-yard line. With the score, the Oakland Raiders 21, San Diego Chargers 7. Let's take time out.
Hi, Pat Summerall to remind you that the more often you use a tool, the better you appreciate its quality. And that's why True Value hardware stores suggest you choose high-quality name-brand tools like the kind made by Crescent. Crescent tools are highly regarded by people who work with tools for a living because of the superior materials and workmanship that goes into each one. And quality like this doesn't have to cost a fortune. That's why you'll find the Crescent 10-inch utility pliers for just $5.58 at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers. And tell them Pat Summerall sent you.
Here's some good news about interest rates from GMAC, the financing people from General Motors. Even though the bank prime rate has gone higher and higher, you should know that most auto financing rates don't automatically go up with the prime rate. And that simply means this. The new Chevy, Pontiac, Olds, Buick, Cadillac, or GMC truck you've had your eye on is probably a lot more affordable than you think. Your GM dealer has the GMAC financing you need to help you get that GM car you're after. Check it out today.
Jim Kelly, Lindsey Nelson back with you in San Diego, where the Chargers have just had their second ball picked off, and John Jefferson has figured prominently in both. On the first interception, the first one by Lester Hayes, John Jefferson fell down at about the Oakland 4-yard line, and Hayes had only to gather it in, and it was right in his midsection. On this one, Burgess Owens picked off his third of the year. The ball was slightly high and behind John Jefferson, who tried to make a leaping catch, and in so doing, he actually deflected the ball up high, and Owens just fielded it like a foul fly and ran it all the way back to the Chargers' 26-yard line. So Oakland will stop now, 1st and 10 from that point, about 7 out of 12, but the big difference, 2 interceptions. You know, to say things are laid back here in California might be an understatement. On the message board now, happy birthday, Harriet. Will you marry me? Love, Ed.
You have a busy day. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line for the Oakland Raiders. Tom Flores, the head coach of the Raiders, holding a press conference Friday, said, you know, people in San Diego and the Chargers just don't like us, and they really don't. It's 1st and 10 for those Raiders. They're leading the ball game 21-7. Luckett has the ball, handing it off. Simply take it right in. Van Egan, Bob Horn coming in to make the tackle, and it's up there at the 29-yard line. And a 3 on the play makes it 2nd down and 7 yards to go.
This crowd at San Diego Stadium, a lot like the Falcon crowd in Atlanta a week ago today. Like Charger fans, I think, are kind of anticipating a disaster waiting to happen right now.
Absolutely, and they had counted on this to be the big day of celebration. The Chargers were the subject of conversation anywhere one went these last few days. In San Diego, this city has been a few feet off the ground. Luckett handing off this time to Kenny King. He tries the right side, puts his head down and files across the 30 to the 32-yard line. He picked up 3 yards on the play to make it 3rd down and 4. Louis Kelcher was there to make the stop along with Ray Preston.
You know, Tom Landry says of the conference championship game that sometimes there is actually more pressure involved in this game, the AFC game, and the game that his Dallas Cowboys lost to the Eagles 27 this afternoon, than in the Super Bowl, because your goal as a professional football player is to reach the Super Bowl, and to do that you have to get by the conference championship game. So therein there might be more pressure in this game than the Super Bowl.
3rd down and 4 yards to go. Dodd is rising to the occasion to the 3rd down, exhorting the defense to hold those black and silver Raiders. Rolling out to the left side. Plunkett stops, set. Now decides to scramble, and he stops. Big Louis Kelcher was there, along with Fred Dean. That is a quarterback sack, and it'll bring on the punting unit, meaning Ray Guy. Let's pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
You're listening to WYER-FM Stereo, Mount Carmel, a service of Hugo Communications. It's 5 o'clock.
Lindsey, a big play by Dean and Kelcher for 2 reasons. First, if Plunkett gets out of that pocket at all, he might have been able to run for the 1st down, but if he had been free, he would have seen Kenny King down here at about the 45-yard line, certainly in 1st down yardage, and nobody near him.
Ray Guy back in deep punt formation. Mike Fuller is dropped back, standing at his own 26-yard line to field it for the San Diego Chargers. Guy gets the snap, steps up a long, high, spiraling kick across field. Fuller can't get to it. It takes a roll. It's going on down into the end zone. And settles there for a touchback. It'll be put in play 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. But there's a timeout on the field with the score, the Raiders 21 and the Chargers 7. 71 yards.
You will find them busy about any time you visit the Log Inn at Warrenton, for folks have found the Log Inn meets all their requirements for a perfect night out. Good food, your favorite drink, hospitality plus, and the same kind of efficient service stagecoach passengers enjoyed back in 1825. The kind of service and good food that has kept folks coming back week after week for 154 years. The Log Inn at Warrenton, a mile east of Highway 41 on Old State Road.
NFL Monday Night Football.
The World Series.
The Preakness and Belmont Stakes.
U.S. Open Tennis.
Masters Golf. Baseball's All-Star.
The American and National League Playoffs.
NFL Postseason Play.
The Sun Bowl. The Cotton Bowl.
The Super Bowl. And more from the top team in radio sports broadcasting, CBS Radio Sports. I'm Win Elliott, inviting you to enjoy our CBS coverage of major sports all year round from this station. Hear it here.
A 71-yard punt by Ray Guy. That breaks the old record for a championship playoff series. And it went into the end zone, much to the consternation of a few of the Raiders who were down inside the 5-yard line trying to down it there and back the Chargers up a little bit. So Dan Fouts now breaks 1st and 10 from his own 20.
With Ray Guy on the opposing team, you usually start from deep in your own territory, as the Chargers have been doing. 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Dan Fouts retreats, swings it out into the left side to Thomas. Thomas gets across the 20, breaks the tackle, gets up to the 25. He picked up 5 yards. On the pass out into the left side, John Matusak brought him down 2nd and 5 at the 25.
You take a look at the reception so far in the football game. John Jefferson, 2 catches for 49 yards. Charlie Joyner, 3 grabs for a total of 74 yards. Winslow has yet to catch a pass in the football game. And Muncie's just grabbed 1 for 3 yards. What they had hoped to do is isolate him a little bit more on the linebackers, and certainly you've got to get Kellen Winslow to catch a pass or two.
Second down and 5 yards to go. Winslow in motion back toward the inside to give it to Thomas. He finds a little opening and goes out to the 29-yard line, and the ball got away, but it's recovered by Oakland. Ball got away and recovered quickly by Oakland at the 29-yard line of San Diego. 1st and 10 for the Raiders.
Mike Thomas in straining ever so hard to try to pick up that first down yardage. How the ball batted away. The Raiders, Johnny on the spot to pounce on it. Right now, exhorting his defense is a very concerned coach, Don Coryell. Thomas coughs up the football. Ted Hendricks in the vicinity. He stripped him of it, and the Raiders come up with their 3rd turnover, Lindsey, in the first half.
Raiders are leading by a score of 21-7. We have 9 minutes, 57 seconds remaining to be played in the first half of the ball game. Here come the Raiders. Jim Plunkett marching steadily up there to take his position behind the center, waiting for the snap. Handing it off, and it's taken by Arthur Whittington. And Whittington picks up about a yard as Louis Kelcher comes in to make the tackle. Make it 2nd down and 9. Whittington, a 3-year man from SMU.
Certainly important here from a defensive standpoint of the Chargers. Right now you're down 21-7. No question about the fact you want to keep the Oakland Raiders out of the end zone. You'd like to keep them off the scoreboard any further at this point after the turnover by the offense.
Morning newspaper said this game was the most important thing to happen in this town since President Woodrow Wilson opened the Pan-Pacific Exposition in 1915. 2nd down and 9 yards to go. Dropping back. Here's Jim Plunkett. He scrambles. He's got a carry. Penalty marker's thrown. 25-20. He hits the deck at the 19-yard line. There is a marker thrown.
16, Jim Plunkett.
When all is said and done, you should see number 65, Mickey Marvin, the 4-year veteran from Tennessee, called for holding.
Well, somebody's called for holding on the Oakland team, that's for sure. Cal Lepore has made the preliminary signal. He's going back now to step it off, and then he'll explain it, give us the identifications. Art McNally, the supervisor of officials for the NFL, is here this afternoon for this game. Ball moves back to the 39-yard line, and here's Cal Lepore.
Holding, 61. Offense, take it down.
Not only is Art McNally here this afternoon, he's listening.
He is, in fact. 2nd down and 20 yards to go with the ball back there at the 39. Oakland up there in the slot right with the running backs evened up for Jim Plunkett. Motion outside left, that's Kenny King. Dropping back is Plunkett. Looks for a screen. Now turns and throws back left to King and overthrows him incomplete. Covering defensively, Mike Williams, 29 on the corner.
They tried to set up the screen over to Plunkett's right side. They tried to work it over to Van Egan, who would have been running behind Mickey Marvin, but clogging it up there, staying at home and doing a great job defensively. Wilbur Young, number 99, the 10-year man from William Penn in Iowa. He stayed there and is on 3rd down conversions now. The Raiders, 3 of 5.
3rd and 20. With the ball at the San Diego 39-yard line.
And again, the importance defensively of this series, Lindsey, for the San Diego Chargers. You back them up now well out of Barr's field goal range. If you don't give them the first down here, your offense takes over, and the turnover doesn't hurt you on the scoreboard.
This is the big play, of course, and the crowd is well aware of that. Wide receivers left and right, slot to the left side. Running backs evened up, Plunkett. Dropping back and looking. He guns it. Price has it. He's at the 31. He's at the 30. 29, 25, 20. And he drives for a 1st and 10 for the Oakland Raiders at the 15-yard line. Woody Lowe finally stopped it.
A well-conceived play for an Oakland first down should not honestly have been a first down. They had Branch nailed back at about the 30-yard line, certainly at the 25-yard line. He lined up on the left side, simply came underneath after Chandler had gone deep. Plunkett fired the ball. They beat number 51 to the inside, Woody Lowe. Lowe had a shot at him. Preston had a shot. When he got around Preston, turned the corner, that was enough for the first down and a touchdown-saving tackle by Glenn Edwards.
It's outside the 15-yard line. 1st and 10, wide receivers left and right. Plunkett handing it off. They leave this one on the ground. Van Egan drives for 5 to the 10-yard line. Mike Fuller in to make the tackle. 2nd down and 5 at the 10-yard line.
He picks up 5 yards.
Bob Horn on the tackle along with Mike Fuller.
Bob Horn.
8 minutes remaining to be played in the first half. The Raiders leading by a score of 21-7 and driving.
Don't forget a week ago against the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo scored, actually they scored 14 points in the second quarter. They led 14-3 at the intermission, but there's a big difference being down by 11 points and being down perhaps by as many as 21 if Oakland pushes it in here.
5 receivers left and right. Then they leave it on the ground. Van Egan drives and gets to the 8-yard line.
And off to number 30, Mark Van Egan.
So it'll be 3rd down and 3 yards to go at the 8-yard line.
on the tackle, number 71, Fred Dean. Of course, what the Raiders would like to do now, obviously, is score the touchdown, but if not, they themselves would not like to turn the ball over here. They'd like to come away with some points, field goal or the touchdown, just before halftime.
Derek Jensen comes into the ballgame. Mark Van Egan goes off now. Jensen, 225-pounder from the University of Texas at Arlington. Third down play, 3rd and 3 at the 8 for the Oakland Raiders. They come out on the slot right. Plunkett waiting, has the ball. Drops back. Sets up. Throws it complete to Whittington inside the 5-yard line, and that's going to be a first down. Mike Fuller made the tackle. It's going to be a 1st and goal at the 3.
Fuller really hit Whittington and drove him back, but not before Whittington had picked up the first down yardage at the 3-yard line. Plunkett 12 of 15 so far in this football game with 2 touchdowns by the air, 1 on the ground, knocking on the door, trying for another one here.
The Oakland Raiders send Derek Ramsey in now. Cliff Wright goes off the field with the ball down there at the 3-yard line. Short yardage, 1st and goal at the 3. Chandler goes off. And now we're getting a timeout for the Oakland Raiders. So with the score, Oakland 21, San Diego 7. Let's take timeout.
All that you can be. Oh, yeah. Keep on reaching. Keep on flowing.
Today's Army is using lasers, computers, and microelectronics in more ways than you can imagine.
All that you can be.
See your Army recruiter today.
'Cause we need you in the Army.
Paid for by the U.S. Army.
Given your druthers, wouldn't you really rather have a quiet, luxurious, elegant car? One that comes standard with power windows, power seats, air conditioning, even an automatic overdrive transmission? And under the hood, wouldn't you really rather have your choice of anything from a V6 to an optional V8 or a diesel? You would? Well, just see a Buick dealer and ask for the 1981 Electra Park Avenue.
Wouldn't you really rather have a Buick?
The Oakland Raiders knocking on the door once again. 1st and goal from the Chargers' 3-yard line. 6:28 left to go in the first half. A sort of surprising first half, certainly from a Chargers standpoint, as they have never been ahead in this football game. Oakland taking the opening kickoff and scoring 3 plays later. A deflected pass intended for Kenny King. It went for 61 yards to Ray Chester, and the Raiders have been out in front and big the entire football game.
Double tight end, Chester and Ramsey. Van Egan, Jensen, Whittington in the ball game. Running back to split. That's Jensen in motion. Give it to Mark Van Egan into the end zone. Touchdown for the Oakland Raiders. Big hole opening up. Unmolested. Mark Van Egan took it in for another Raider touchdown from 3 yards out. Coming with 6 minutes, 26 seconds remaining to be played in the first half.
That's his 8th on the ground so far this year, the veteran from Colgate. As you look at a very nervous and concerned Don Coryell on the Chargers sideline right now, because Chris Barr is just 1 extra point away from making it a whopping 21-point Charger deficit.
Chandler's coming on to hold now on the conversion attempt by Chris Barr. Barr is already 3 for 3 for the day. Going for his 4th here, Chandler puts the ball down. Barr boots it up, and it's good. And so the Oakland Raiders have taken a commanding lead of 28-7 over the San Diego Chargers, with 6 minutes, 26 seconds remaining to be played in the first half.
Well, that was a very costly turnover when Mike Thomas was stripped of the ball by the mad stork Ted Hendricks. It led to a touchdown that now puts Oakland out in front 28-7. The Raiders go 71 yards in 7 plays. Check it, that can't be right. Can't be 71 yards on that drive. After that fumble, they go 29 yards in 7 plays. Van Egan punching it in from 3 yards out. And again, turnovers, interceptions. Fouts has had a long afternoon. The Oakland defensive line been putting pressure on Fouts. The secondary has certainly been doing a fine job in containing his outstanding core of wide receivers, John Jefferson, Charlie Joyner, and Lindsey Kellen Winslow still has to catch a ball in this football game. You're not going to beat Oakland. And for that matter, they struggled to beat Buffalo with just 1 reception for Winslow unless you can get the ball to your big tight end.
Chris Barr kicks off. It's a knuckleball toward Bauer, and Bauer takes it 2 yards deep in the end zone. Slips a little, comes across the goal line, 5. Out to the 10, and finally is stopped at the 13-yard line. Hank Bauer, 2 yards deep. Had to make a decision first whether or not to down it or run it out. He decided to run it out. When he did, he slipped, and he got out to the 13-yard line.
Of course, on that last drive by the Oakland Raiders, there were 2 key third down plays. One where Plunkett found Cliff Branch. They were backed up almost at midfield. and over a 30-yard pass completion gave Oakland a first down. Then again on third down, he threw underneath to Whittington. And that set it up first and goal, and from there Van Egan simply punched it in. Now a penalty flag on the kickoff. Looks like we'll step off some yardage against the Oakland Raiders.
Well, they're going to go back and kick it over, I think. As they realign him, Cedric Hartman was in deep conversation with the official on the far side of the field. He was talking to Leo Miles, the head linesman. However, the ball is going to be taken back and spotted presumably at the 30-yard line. It is back there in that vicinity right now, which would constitute a 5-yard penalty against the Oakland Raiders.
Well, you've got 6:16 left to go on the clock. The Chargers obviously have lots of time to score. I think the key point here, Lindsey, is for them not to get greedy, not to score too quickly, certainly not to turn the ball back over again. You've got to have some kind of a sustained drive. Certainly put a touchdown on the board. Big difference going out at halftime down by 14 or down by 21 points. You're down by 14, you're not out of the football game. But if you turn the ball over now and maybe give up a field goal to the Raiders or another touchdown, the Raiders' momentum, I think, might carry them all the way to New Orleans.
Raiders were offsides on that previous kickoff, so they'll kick now from the 30. Still Bauer and Ron Smith deep for the San Diego Chargers. And here comes Bauer again. Puts it up high in the wind this time to Bauer's side of the field, and Bauer's at the 10-yard line. Upfield to the 15, cuts left to the 20, outside to the 25 to the 30, 35, and Bauer goes out of bounds at the 36-yard line. It'll be first and 10. Jeff Barnes bounced him out over there.
Well, it wound up to be about a 20-yard penalty. It cost the Raiders that offside call because they would have started the Chargers at their own 15. Instead, they'll start up around the 35.5-yard line and enjoy good field position. And 6:05 left to go in the first half.
The Oakland Raiders leading the San Diego Chargers in San Diego by a score of 28-7. The AFC Championship game. The winner goes to New Orleans in the Super Bowl to play the Philadelphia Eagles, the winners in the NFC. That's Kellen Winslow in motion from a wing right all the way across outside left, dropping back his pouch. He puts it up for J.J., and it's J.J. and Lester Hayes incomplete. One of the big matchups, Lester Hayes and John Jefferson incomplete.
Well, you go strength against strength right there. John Jefferson said before the ball game of Lester Hayes, he's the hottest cornerback in the league this year, the toughest one that he has faced all season. He presents special problems. He's a Mel Blount kind of a cornerback. He's willing to gamble more, and he's got the ability to get away with it. Hayes already with one interception in the afternoon. Jefferson said we've got a lot of respect for each other. Sometimes you'll talk during the game, but probably not too much today because of the great concentration required.
Bounce throwing, and it's complete. Taken by Jefferson across the 45-yard line. Hit immediately by Burgess Owens. It'll be spotted at the 46-yard line, and they'll take a long look at the first down yardage here and possibly bring out the chain.
Somebody asked Jefferson what Hayes and John would talk about. They don't have long conversations. He said if he catches a pass, Lester sometimes will say, nice catch. And if Lester breaks one up, Johnny will say, way to go. So they're not given to long declarative sentences.
They're going to bring out the chain here now and measure for the possible first down. It is being extended, and it is a first and 10 at the 46-yard line. So the Chargers have the first down, but they still have the ball in their own territory. And they're still trailing by 21 points in the ball game. Out of that huddle and up to the line. Jefferson to the left side, Joyner to the right. Kellen Winslow in a wing left. Now Jefferson in motion across, comes to stop in a wing right. Kellen Winslow loosens up in a wide left. Thomas gets the ball, finds an opening across the 50. Mike Thomas gets to the 46-yard line of the Oakland Raiders before Willie Jones comes in to make the tackle.
Now, what the Chargers did that time was spread their wide receivers out. Joyner wide to the right. Jefferson lined up in the slot. Winslow, as Lindsey called it, way out to the left side. So you spread that Raider defense out a little bit. If you blitz the linebacker or the cornerback from a position where the wide receiver is not, you try to get to the quarterback, it opens up the middle, and that's what they did. Fouts read it well. Good play call. They kept it on the ground.
Second and 2. Ken Thomas has got it, and he struggles through to pick up the first down. Ted Hendricks coming in to make the tackle, but it's going to be a first and 10 for the San Diego Chargers, and that gives this crowd a little something to cheer about. They have not had a great deal to cheer about so far here at San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium this afternoon.
Lindsey, the Raiders have done an outstanding job containing Chuck Muncie. He's carried the ball 4 times for just 3 yards. He has 1 pass reception for just 3 yards. If you're keying on the ex-New Orleans Saint and trying to put pressure on the quarterback, Fouts obviously has to go more to his wide receiver. Still, Kellen Winslow has yet to catch a pass.
He's in a wide left in this alignment. Thomas is the lone setback. Dropping back now is Fouts. He guns it, and it's incomplete. Up at the 34-yard line. Trying to get it to J.J. Burgess Owens was covering defensively. It's going to be 2nd and 10 at the 43.
Owens one-on-one that time, helped out finally by number 35, Dwayne Osteen, who came over. That time, Lester Hayes, the all-pro cornerback, isolated one-on-one with Charlie Joyner. And Joyner goes to the sideline now, takes himself out. Number 84, Ron Smith, the hero of that Buffalo game, comes back in.
Ron Smith, who played his college football right here in town at San Diego State, was drafted by the Los Angeles Rams. Wide receivers left and right. Thomas still the lone setback. Thomas gets the ball, tries the left side. Blockers out in front. Turns the corner, gets down the sideline inside the 35, out of bounds at the 33-yard line.
Number 22, Mike Thomas, the ball carrier.
Picked up about 10 on the play, as Otis McKinney. They're on the tackle. They're going to spot the ball now right at the chain before they bring it in bounds, determining at this moment whether or not he picked up the first down.
I'll tell you, for the San Diego Chargers over on the left side, Doug Wilkerson, Ed White threw a couple of big blocks. Big number 67, the veteran, 12 years from California, Ed White, 6'2", 271, helped out there by number 63, Doug Wilkerson, 6'3", 262, the 11-year veteran from North Carolina Central, and they just blew down Oakland Raiders very, very close to first down yardage, just about the length of the pole, shy of first down yardage.
They're using the chain now to spot the ball at the inbounds marker on the far side of the field, where it will be 3rd down and less than a yard to go at the 33-yard line. 4 minutes, 9 seconds remaining to be played in the first half of the ball game, and here comes Bob Rush in now. And Lavin as well. Chuck Lavin has come into the ball game as well. The offensive lineman for the San Diego Chargers. Wilkerson has come off. J.J. is coming off at the moment. Ball has been marked ready for play, and the San Diego Chargers are convening their huddle. Clock starts on the snap.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is a pass play. They took a little bit of time to call this one back in the huddle. That usually indicates pass, although they show run.
Side alignment. And they just pile them up and gain enough, I think, for the first down. Fouts kept the football and tried the quarterback sneak, and they got the 1st and 10. Dan Fouts, who doesn't do that very often, used the quarterback sneak to pick it up.
That's why he took so long in the huddle. He had to think about it. Do I really want to do this or not?
Against his better judgment. First down, 10 yards to go at the 32. Again, the Chargers. Then Jefferson to the left side. Joyner to the right side. Winslow's on the slot left. On the wing left. Now he goes wide outside left. Fouts dropping back. Over the middle, Thomas can't hold it. He dribbles it once incomplete.
Incomplete. Intended for number 22, Mike Thomas.
It'll be 2nd and 10 at the 32-yard line.
That time, Winslow was simply streaking down the left side. They had Charlie Joyner running a deep flag into the right corner. John Jefferson had gone deep on the post to try to clear it out for Mike Thomas, and Fouts a little over-anxious that time, which is what led to that second interception when he threw the ball high and behind John Jefferson, and he deflected into the waiting arms of Burgess Owens. So Fouts, despite the fact he has good yardage, has been missing his receivers in key down situations for the Chargers so far in this football game.
3 minutes, 25 seconds left in the first half. The Raiders are leading 28-7. Now Thomas finds a little opening. Dropped the ball, dribbled it, but maintained possession. It's going to be at the 31-yard line, so it's a gain of only a yard as he dribbled it a time or two. It'll be 3rd down and 9. Doug Wilkerson recovered the ball, dropped by Thomas.
He's the 11-year veteran from North Carolina Central. Mike Thomas this afternoon giving his best Chuck Muncie impersonation. He's fumbled the ball twice. He's lost one to the Oakland Raiders. That one they got a break on. It keeps the drive alive, but it's 3rd down and 9.
At the 31-yard line. Big 3rd down play for the San Diego Chargers. Less than 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Fouts retreats to set it up. He scrambles out of the pocket, goes on the run, and Thomas gathers it in inside the 10-yard line. 1st and goal at the 7th. Mike Thomas with a leaping catch. It's taken to the inbound marker and spotted 1st and goal at the 7-yard line.
It wasn't very pretty, but it was effective. Fouts being pressured from the left side of that Oakland front. John Matuszak, 6'8", the 8-year man from Tampa, coming in, chasing Fouts out of the pocket in all kinds of trouble. Fouts let it fly, and it was kind of a dying quail up there. It was end over end, looked more like a kickoff, but somehow it found its way into the waiting arms of Mike Thomas. Big reception.
We are approaching the automatic timeout at the 2-minute warning, but they get it off to Thomas. He goes to the left side, gets inside the 5-yard line, and is pushed back there at the 4. It was Rod Martin who made the stop. We have reached the 2-minute warning. There's a pause in the action with the score. The Oakland Raiders 28, the San Diego Chargers 7. Let's take timeout.
This bud's for you, for being on the job and working hard all day. This bud's for you. You know that nothing less than best can make it all the way. So here's to you. This bud's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. This bud's for you, because it isn't only what you say, it's what you do. This bud's for you. This bud's for you. For all you do, the king of beers is coming through. For all you do, this bud's for you. And has it been?
Well, the song says San Diego Superchargers, but right now the Super Raiders have a 21-point lead, 28-7, 1:58 to go. But the San Diego Chargers knocking at the door right now. When we go back to Lindsey Nelson, it'll be second down and 4 yards to go for the touchdown. That could pull these Chargers to within 14 points. And the way they like to go, air express, not on the ground, it would not take too long to make up that 14-point deficit. But, of course, they've got to come away with this touchdown right now and go out at halftime with that 14-point disadvantage. It's been all Oakland. They took the opening kickoff, and they went 71 yards in 3 plays. The big one, the bomb, Ray Chester on the receiving end of a 61-yard deflected scoring strike from Jim Plunkett. And other than a 62-yard drive by Dan Fouts, where he hit Charlie Joyner from 48 yards out, the key play, it's been all Oakland.
Second down goal to go at the 4. Thomas, the lone setback. Dropping back his Fouts. Swings it to Thomas on the right flat. He's at the 10, he's at the 8, and he is stood up at the 8-yard line. Literally picked up by Lester Hayes. His feet are not touching the ground. It'll be spotted at the 8-yard line for a loss of 4. They tried to go to a wide right.
Stood up, picked up, play the song again, let's dance.
It'll be third and goal at the 8-yard line.
On the 4 yards.
Now Oakland making defensive changes to shore up the defense. Clock is running, 1 minute 30 seconds remaining in the first half. 4 down linemen, 3 defensive backs. 5 defensive backs, beg your pardon. Now Joyner and Jefferson double to the left side. Ron Smith on a wide right. Thomas the lone setback. Now it's retreating straight back. Sets up, throws it, and Joyner has it, and touchdown! Charlie Joyner took it at the 2, and he drove across for the touchdown. Otis McKinney hanging on to him as he dragged him across into the end zone. And the San Diego Chargers are on the scoreboard once again.
Not the fault of Otis McKinney, but what a great route run by Charlie Joyner. Kind of a strange pattern as they had Joyner and Jefferson lined up on the same side to the left side. That time one came in motion, one went inside. Joyner came back outside off the pick by Kellen Winslow. And Joyner then, against the grain, rambled into the end zone to pull him to within 15 points.
Ross Benershka will attempt the conversion with Fuller holding for him. Fuller puts the ball down. Benershka boots it up, and it's good. So there's a timeout on the field with the score. The Oakland Raiders 28, the San Diego Chargers 14.
Excuse me, I own that shoe store across the street.
Uh-huh.
Want to buy it?
Well,
I'll be honest. I have great shoes, but no customers, so I'm ready to sell the whole thing at any price you name it.
$12.
Sold.
Ooh.
Well, now that you own a shoe store, what'll you do with it?
Well, advertise.
I tried. A lot of newspaper ads, then TV and magazine.
I'll probably go radio.
Radio?
Yeah, according to the latest studies, everyday radio reaches more people than newspaper, TV, or magazines.
How did you
What's
know?
more, radio targets customers. I'll match up the right stations for my dressier lines and different stations for young casual. Since radio costs a lot less than newspapers or TV, I'll get good efficiency.
Listen, I'd like to buy my store back from you.
Well,
at a fair profit.
Okay.
How much do you...
$156,000.
That's a pretty fair profit.
Take it or leave it.
I'll take it.
What you don't know about radio could cost you a lot. What you can learn is free for the asking. Call WYER at 262-5111.
Radio. It's red hot.
Fouts to Joyner accounted for all 14 of the Charger points right now, while Jim Plunkett has figured prominently in all of the Raider touchdowns. 28-14, still 105 left to go, and you can bet Tom Flores with that much time left, and the way Plunkett is throwing the ball this afternoon, and the way he's working over the secondary of the Chargers, he's not going to sit on that 14-point lead.
Ball is teed up on the 35-yard line now. Rolf Benershka will kick it out. Arthur Whittington and Keith Moody have dropped back deep, standing along the 5-yard line for the Oakland Raiders. Cal LaForest whistle, and that starts Benershka forward. End over end. over to Whittington's side of the field. He has it, drops it at the 11-yard line, picks it up. Running laterally along the 12 and gets out to the 13, fumbles the ball. Penalty marker goes down. The San Diego Chargers think that they've recovered it. All players indicating, and they have, but there's a marker to be checked. San Diego got the ball at the Oakland 13, but what about the penalty marker?
Well, the Raider players are screaming, literally screaming at Cal Lepore. Apparently the man that came up with the football, Glenn Edwards, number 27, the veteran former Pittsburgh Steeler. Right now, Cal Lepore is having a conclave with the officials, if you will. The flag thrown down at about the 18-yard line in the vicinity where you would expect it would be a penalty against the Oakland Raiders. And that's what it was. It'll be holding against Oakland, but San Diego was offside on the kickoff. We'll do it again.
And we'll hear from Cal Lepore in a moment. As soon as he gets this all straightened out, he'll kick it again, and he'll tell us about it. Here it comes just now. Cal is still getting it all straight before he reports it to us. He's facing the stands in this direction.
His mic's on, I hear it.
Yeah.
He's just not talking.
Offside, 46, kicking. Stealing into the hands, 56, receiving team. And he's offset, re-kick from the 35.
Well, the offside against the San Diego Chargers killed what could have been a big break for them. Obviously down by 14. They could have, with 1 minute left to go, scored again and trailed by only 7. But the flag was thrown all the way across the field in front of the Oakland Raiders bench at the 35-yard line. So somebody was across that 35-yard marker before Vanershka booted it away, and that cost the Chargers the football.
So it is going to be re-kicked now from the 35-yard line. Dropping back again, Arthur Whittington and Keith Moody, standing now along the 10-yard line. Clock says we have 1 minute. The clock does not start until the ball is touched by a member of the receiving team in the field of play in these last 2 minutes. Here comes Vanershka. End over end. Whittington side of the field. Drives him back to the 5-yard line. Whittington has it. Goes to the 10. To the 15. And he stopped at the 20-yard line. So that is where Oakland gets the ball. 54 seconds remaining to be played in the first half of the ball game.
And now Tom Flores might be having second thoughts about what he sent his offensive unit in to do, Lindsey. He's just seen the kicking team make what might have been a very crucial error late in the first half, and he might have second thoughts about putting the ball up and risking a turnover right now.
He has a 14-point lead, Flores and the Raiders do. They're leading by a score of 28-14. Jim Plunkett joining the huddle now, coming out to set the Oakland offense in motion. Jim Plunkett, who was a Heisman Trophy winner at Stanford in his college days, the number 1 draft choice of the New England Patriots, traded to the San Francisco 49ers, cut loose and picked up by the Oakland Raiders. The action this year in an emergency measure. They leave it on the ground this time. Whittington has the ball, tries a wide right and just across the 20 and goes out of bounds. Ray Preston pulls him out after a gain of a yard or so. Now the clock is stopped and the San Diego Chargers have called a timeout.
That might not be a bad play call by the Oakland Raiders. Keep it on the ground, try to use up as much time as they can. Not risk the turnover right here because the Chargers have just scored before halftime. If you have any kind of a turnover, a fumble, or a pass interceptions more specifically, and the Chargers could go in just trailing by 7 points after you had them down by 21, why their old friend momentum might have switched the other way. So if you take a look at the time remaining, 44 seconds left to go. The Raiders are up by 14, 28-14 with about 30 minutes of football left in regulation. We say that, of course, because if they're tied at the end of regulation, we would naturally have overtime because somebody has a date 2 weeks from today with Jack Buck and Hank Stram and Dick Stockton and Brent Musburger and a cast of thousands, I would expect, by the time it's all over. And Super Bowl 15, New Orleans, Louisiana will be the site. The Philadelphia Eagles will be the NFC representative. Congratulations to Mr. Leonard Toews, the owner of the Philadelphia Eagles, general manager Jim Murray, head coach Dick Vermeil, player personnel director Carl Peterson, and all of the Philadelphia Eagles. A very impressive 20-7 win over Tom Landry's Dallas Cowboys at Veterans Stadium in what you might say would be bone-chilling weather, right? It was 4 degrees when they kicked it off, and somebody said with a wind chill factor it was going to be 17 below zero by the time the final whistle sounded.
Somebody said that about 15 times, as a matter of fact. It's going to be second down and 8-yard steal here with the ball on the 22-yard line. The San Diego Chargers calling timeout, hopeful, of course, of holding the Oakland Raiders and getting that football one more time before the 44 seconds have elapsed. Here come the Oakland Raiders. Now they've got Van Egan and King as the setbacks, and they're evened up on a 2nd and 8. Jim Plunkett bending in to take the snap. He's got it. They leave it on the ground, give it to King. He tries the right side, and he's closed off with the pass for a loss at the 20-yard line by Ray Preston.
Number 33, Kenny King, the ball carrier.
Chargers take a timeout. They've got one remaining.
Tackle by number 52, Ray Preston.
And 37 ticks left on the clock.
And Willie Buchanan.
Jim Plunkett, 7 out of 9. 7 out of 9, 188 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Of course, Plunkett has been right on the money since the opening kickoff, taking the opening drive and hitting Ray Chester. Fouts has not been quite so fortunate, and I think 2 keys would have to be the pressure that the Oakland defensive front has been able to put on Dan Fouts and the job the secondary has done containing his 3 outstanding wide receivers. And conversely, I think that the San Diego defense has been bending, as they like to say sometimes, and breaking. And quite honestly, the San Diego front, despite the fact they've got 4 sacks to their credit, really not putting the kind of pressure on Plunkett that you expected them to do. Oakland 5 out of 7 on third down conversions. And a big one coming up here, 3rd and 10. If they put the ball up here, Lindsey, I think you would expect them to say, go with something very safe. Maybe a screen pass, certainly a sideline pass, so that if the man is covered, he can either dump it off, throw it out of bounds, but certainly not risk a deflection over the middle, not risk a big turnover at this point, because you've got Ray Guy, whose last punt, I believe, was 71 yards.
3rd down and 10 at the 20-yard line. 37 seconds on the clock, which starts on the snap. The Oakland Raiders out of their huddle and up to the line. They double Bryce and Chandler to the left side. Van Egan and King are evened up as the running back. Jim Plunkett waits for the snap and he gets it. They leave it on the ground to King, tries the right side, puts his head down and gains at most a yard. He came across the 20. And again the clock is stopped and the timeout taken by the San Diego Chargers. Their final timeout with 31 seconds left and Ray Guy is coming onto the field. Buchanan and Horn on the last tackle.
Of course, Plunkett has been right on the money since the opening kickoff, taking the opening drive and hitting Ray Chester. Fouts has not been quite so fortunate, and I think 2 keys would have to be the pressure that the Oakland defensive front has been able to put on Dan Fouts and the job the secondary has done containing his 3 outstanding wide receivers. And conversely, I think that the San Diego defense has been bending, as they like to say sometimes, and breaking. And quite honestly, the San Diego front, despite the fact they've got 4 sacks to their credit, really not putting the kind of pressure on Plunkett that you expected them to do. Oakland 5 out of 7 on third down conversions. And a big one coming up here, 3rd and 10. If they put the ball up here, Lindsey, I think you would expect them to say, go with something very safe. Maybe a screen pass, certainly a sideline pass, so that if the man is covered, he can either dump it off, throw it out of bounds, but certainly not risk a deflection over the middle, not risk a big turnover at this point, because you've got Ray Guy, whose last punt, I believe, was 71 yards.
3rd down and 10 at the 20-yard line. 37 seconds on the clock, which starts on the snap. The Oakland Raiders out of their huddle and up to the line. They double Bryce and Chandler to the left side. Van Egan and King are evened up as the running back. Jim Plunkett waits for the snap and he gets it. They leave it on the ground to King, tries the right side, puts his head down and gains at most a yard. He came across the 20. And again the clock is stopped and the timeout taken by the San Diego Chargers. Their final timeout with 31 seconds left and Ray Guy is coming onto the field. Buchanan and Horn on the last tackle.
I will send you my copy, but in case you can't pick one up, I'll tell you how you can. If you're interested in obtaining the ultimate souvenir from the NFL's biggest event, the official Super Bowl 15 game program, which contains dozens of action photos, a week-by-week review of the 1980 season, plus complete scouting reports of both Super Bowl teams, it's now available through the mail. It is the same 144-page program that will be sold in New Orleans on January 25th, when the AFC and the Philadelphia Eagles meet for the NFL title. You can order yours today by sending a check or money order for $3.50 for each program to Super Bowl 15, Post Office Box 15, Houston, Texas, 77001. That's Super Bowl 15, Post Office Box 15, Houston, Texas, zip code 77001. Please allow 3 weeks for delivery after the game. Order your copy today. The preceding message brought to you by the National Football League.
Ray Guy back in deep punt formation. Mike Fuller back to receive it. Guy gets it off. High spiraling kick. Fuller is retreating. And he takes it at his 19. He is at the 20. He goes to the 25. He gets across the 30 to the 31-yard line.
Number 42.
19 seconds left on the clock. Derek Jensen downfield to make the tackle. San Diego Chargers have the ball 1st and 10. They have it at their own 31-yard line.
Where will you be on Super Sunday? Will you be back from Tokyo by then?
I will just be back from Tokyo. Last year, of course, I was in Stuttgart, Germany, and saw the Super Bowl by satellite at the American Forces Base in Stuttgart. First down, 10 yards to go. They double Jefferson and Charlie Joyner to the left side. They even up the running back. Fouts is dropping back. Goes to Jefferson. And he takes it and goes out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Dwayne Osteen, the cornerback over there. First and 10.
And you've got to like the way Don Coryell, Dan Fouts work the clock right now. Even though time is running out, you're down by 14 points. You want to try to get close enough. Hopefully maybe make the Oakland Raiders make some kind of a mistake, pass interference, try to spring Joyner or Jefferson, who've got game-breaking speed, but certainly work it down ever so closely in the Rolf Lenershka field goal range.
Joyner and Jefferson again double to the left side. Dropping back is Fouts. And it is incomplete and almost intercepted at the 40-yard line. In and out of the hands of Mike Davis, who had the big interception in the end zone against Cleveland last week. He had that one in his hands, could not hold on to it. Incompletion. Clock says 8 seconds remaining in the half. Second and 10 at the 48-yard line for the San Diego Chargers.
Lindsey alluded to it. Davis with a big interception against Brian Sipe last week. Davis, before the ball game, said with Dan Fouts, we'll see the ball up in the air about 70% of the time. We'll just have to hold him to a minimum of completions. Well, Fouts this afternoon, 14 of 23, 249 yards, and 2 touchdowns, but 2 interceptions.
Clarence Williams in there in the last 2 sets off the field. Thomas, the lone setback now. Dropping back his Fouts. Goes, and it is incomplete at the 31-yard line. 3 seconds left on the clock. It was J.J. again, the intended receiver. Dwayne Osteen was the cornerback. Third down and 10 yards to go with the ball at the 48-yard line. The Oakland Raiders leading by a score of 28-14.
Winslow that time lined up to the outside, Jefferson to the inside. Winslow went down long. Jefferson turned it to the outside. Osteen was there to strip him of the ball. Dwayne Osteen, number 35, a good first half. The third-year man from San Jose State has not been burned. Meanwhile, his corner man have picked off a couple of passes. Burgess Owens with one, Lester Hayes with one. And with 3 seconds left to go, you would expect Fouts to throw it about as far as he can throw it as they flood the right side and hope for a pass interference call or deflected touchdown.
Ron Smith, far to the left side, going as deep as he can go, and here's the ball thrown way up to the right corner. Charlie Joyner's down there in that vicinity, and it's batted to the turf at the goal line. A whole host of black jerseys and white jerseys. Time has run out. Ted Hendricks had a big hand in deflecting the ball down there. There's the gun sounding the end of the first half with the score. Oakland Raiders 28, San Diego Chargers 14.
Raiders have not turned it over at all, and the Raiders are enjoying a 28-14 lead at halftime. Again, for the second half, play-by-play of this AFC Championship game, Mr. Lindsey Nelson.
Okay, Jim Kelly, it's been teed up at the 35 by Chris Barr. Ron Smith is dropped back along with Hank Bauer to receive the ball for the San Diego Chargers. It's in the air. Hank Bauer and Duncan. Duncan takes it at the 15. Frank Duncan up across the 20, and he is stopped at the 23-yard line. Frank Duncan moving over and literally taking the ball away from Hank Bauer and returning it to the 23-yard line before Joe Campbell brought him down. So it is first and 10 now for the San Diego Chargers. And the question is, trailing by 14 points, can they move the ball against the black and silver defense of the Oakland Raiders, who have a 14-point lead as we start playing the third quarter? Dan Fouts brings the Chargers up. Crowd is coming alive here now. Ron Smith's in a wing left. He's in motion across. Comes to stop at a wing right. Thomas the lone setback. Driving back his Fouts. In the air to Ron Smith. He takes it and goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Mike Davis defending over there.
Chargers won't waste much time down by 14 points to get back into this football game. The Air Corps of Don Coryell, they didn't attain that nickname for nothing, and he's got fine receivers to throw to. That time, number 84, Ron Smith, the hero of the Buffalo Bills game. Local product, 3-year van from San Diego State. Chargers, 11 first downs to the Raiders, 9 in the first half. Just 31 yards rushing, however, to San Diego.
McCrary in there at tight end as we start playing the second half. First and 10 at the 35-yard line. Winslow is in a wing left. It's given out to Thomas. He tries the left side, but gets nothing. He's thrown back there by Otis McKinney.
Number 22, Mike Thomas.
It'll be spotted for no gain. Second and 10 at the 35-yard line for the San Diego Chargers.
6 carries, 26 yards for Mike Thomas. But what a job they're doing on Chuck Muncie, who had perhaps one of his finest games against the Buffalo Bills. Muncie has grabbed 1 pass for just 3 yards. He's carried the football 4 times. and he's picked up 3 yards on the ground. So you're limiting Chuck Muncie to 6 yards total offense, and that's one of the reasons your offense has been in the hole most of the afternoon.
He saw very little action in the second quarter of the ballgame. He's not in there now. And here is Fouts throwing, and it is intercepted at the 50-yard line, intended for Jefferson, but picked off by Dwayne Osteen, and he returns and fumbles at the 35. Picked up by the Chargers and returned to the 42.
But this interception is coming back. A couple of Raiders are strewn all over the field, but John Jefferson was helping the official make the call, and a correct call it will be, down at about the 45-yard line, because Osteen was all over the back of J.J. before the ball got there. So by the time referee Cal Lepore straightens this one out, it'll all go for a pass interference call against the Oakland Raiders at a very key first down.
An automatic first down. Lepore has indicated that is the call. It was Wilkerson who picked the ball up finally in that exchange all over the lot, but all to no avail as the ball is taken to the inbound marker and spotted 1st and 10 for the San Diego Chargers at the 46-yard line of the Oakland Raiders.
John Jefferson that time ran down, made a little move to the right side.
Interference, right cornerback on the defense, the first down.
Dwayne Osteen, the offender.
Came down with the football, but not before he'd run up the back of John Jefferson.
So, possession is retained by San Diego. They're in a slot left. Dropping back now, Dan Fouts chased out of the pocket, and he's sacked. He is pulled down.
Fouts dropped for a loss. Tackle by number 86.
Cedric Hardman, 6'4", 245, the 11-year veteran from North Texas State. The first sack of the football game for the Oakland Raiders, but a costly one because Fouts had all his receivers flooded out, and a big loss on the play. Let's pause now. 5 seconds for our stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
You're listening to WYER-FM Mount Carmel, a service of Hugo Communications. It's 6 o'clock.
Well, you had it 1st and 10 at your opponent's 45-yard line. It's now 2nd and 18. You're backed up at your own 46.
Fouts up there again, ready to take the snap. A lone setback, wide receivers left and right. Fouts now scurrying back to set up. Guns it incomplete. Intended for Jefferson on a crossing pattern, but Fouts had to throw before he wanted to. It'll be 3rd down and 18 yards to go with the ball in San Diego possession at their 46-yard line.
And the reason he had to throw before he wanted to, number 90, Willie Jones, the second-year man from Florida State, was clinging to him, 6'4", 245. You take a look at 3rd down conversions, besides the abysmal running so far of the Chargers, 4 of 8 on 3rd down conversions.
They want to go long now, so Ron Smith comes back into the ballgame, and tight end Greg McCreary comes off on a 3rd and 18 for the San Diego Chargers, who trail by 14 points. They're doubling Joyner and Jefferson to the left side. Smith wide to the right side. Running backs are split. Fouts dropping back. Throws it, and it's Joyner at the 30-yard line. And it's going to be a 1st and 10 inside the 30. Burgess Owens and Dwayne Osteen on the tackle. Fouts having time then to look for his receiver. Found him, and Joyner's still down. He is getting up slowly, pulled up now by a teammate. Spotted at the 29-yard line, 1st and 10.
Fouts gunned it right over the middle, a key first down to keep that thwarted drive alive. Charlie Joyner now, 5 catches, 107 yards. John Jefferson, 4 catches, 76 yards. Kellen Winslow, though, Lindsey, has still failed to catch a pass in this football game.
First down play coming. Joyner on the left side. Jefferson coming over to a slot left. Kellen Winslow out to a wide right. Lone setback. Fouts has the ball. Gives it out to Thomas. And Thomas gets them to the 20-yard line. About a yard short of the first down before he's pushed back by Burgess Owens and Rod Martin. It will be 2nd down and about a yard to go.
The reason the crowd is booing, he was thrown back with a little gusto, as you might say. Mike Thomas, 8 carries, 41 yards in the afternoon. Again, Chuck Muncie has gained just 3 yards on the ground, 1 pass for 3 yards. Close to first down yardage. You got 2nd down about 2 feet to go. This is kind of a good waste down. Might want to go up top and try for the quick touchdown.
Winslow moves over to a wing left, wide receivers left and right. Jefferson and Joyner. Leave it on the ground to Thomas. I think he got the first down before he was pushed back. It'll be marked by a lineman up near the 18-yard line. And I think it'll be enough for the first down. He was thrown back and thrown back strongly, but they'll take a long look now to determine the possible first down.
Rod Martin, number 53, 6'2", 210, the 4-year linebacker from USC. Really cracked into Mr. Mike Thomas there, the 6-year veteran from Nevada, Las Vegas. But as Lindsey said, he is very, very close to first down yardage, and he's got it.
1st and 10 just outside the 18. Cal Lepore consulted Ted Hendricks of the Oakland Raider defense. had him take a look, and they decided they would not have to bring out the chain because it is the first attempt at the 18-yard line.
And suddenly, with the running of Mike Thomas on this drive, that rushing disparity for the Chargers now is evened up. San Diego 45 yards on the ground to Oakland's 43.
Clarence Williams in the ball game for the San Diego Chargers. Here's the ball in the air down to the right corner, and it's incomplete, intended for J.J. John Jefferson, the intended receiver, and it was Lester Hayes and Jefferson. There was some contact, and there's some conversation as they come back up the field.
Very brief conversation, though it is. Number 37, the All-Pro cornerback Lester Hayes. He'll be in the Pro Bowl game that Jack Buck and Hank Stram will bring you here on CBS Radio. John Jefferson will be in it. There are 13 Pro Bowlers between these two teams that will do battle in Honolulu that day.
Ron Smith back into the ball game. Thomas back into the ball game. Muncie along the sideline. They're on a double wing. Now, wing back left goes in motion. Across to the right side, that's Joyner. Dropping back is Dan Fouts. He guns it, and Smith takes it inside the 10-yard line. He's at the 8. That's going to be another first down. Burgess Owens hit Ron Smith. First down, goal to go. San Diego at the Oakland 8-yard line.
Ron Smith, the third-year man from San Diego State, checks out now. And big number 88, Greg McCrary, the tight end, one of two tight ends, checks back in. Good concentration by Ronnie Smith from San Diego State. He knew he was going to get popped by Dwayne Osteen. He went down to his knees, cradled the ball ever so softly to come up with a big first down, or what appears to be a first down, as they bring out the sticks once again. Fouts now 17 of 30, and he gets the first down on the completion to Ronnie Smith.
First and goal at the 8-yard line. Fouts goes back to his huddle, getting instructions from his sideline now. Tempo of the remainder of this football game may be set right here. If the San Diego Chargers are able to move it 8 yards and take it in, they will cut the lead of the Oakland Raiders to 7 points. If they can't, well, all sorts of things might result. They come out in the slot right, and that's Jefferson. The wing right is Winslow. The lone setback is Thomas. Fouts now, waiting for the snap. Going to a higher count. He's got it. Quick retreat, he sets up. Looks, throws into the end zone, and incomplete. It hit the crossbar, as a matter of fact. Intended for Jefferson deep. He was, in a manner of speaking, throwing it away because everybody was covered and the ball was so high it hit the crossbar.
There's where a more mobile quarterback than Dan Fouts, you seldom see him run, might have tried to run for the first down, like a Ron Jaworski perhaps. Fouts 6'3", 210, the 8-year pro from Oregon. Not exactly mobile. I think Fouts is kind of a throwback to the old Sonny Jurgensen style of quarterback. A little bit of a middle, hanging over the midriff section.
McCrary has come out of the field, and Clarence Williams has come out now. They even up the running back, Thomas and Williams. Second and goal at the 8-yard line. Wide receivers left and right. Short drop now for Fouts. Again, he looks, can't find anybody. And throws deep in the end zone and incomplete. J.J. was trying to walk the tightrope. He had it briefly on his fingertip, deflected it beyond the end line, tried to keep his feet in and stretch out. Couldn't, simply an incompleted pass. Third and goal at the 8-yard line.
Kellen Winslow cannot believe it. He was all alone down at the 2-yard line. He has yet to catch a pass in this football game. He was wide open. No question that John Jefferson was alone in the end zone, and that perhaps was part of the problem. Fouts tried to gun the ball so hard. He tried to throw the ball with so much on it that sometimes when you do that, it's like a baseball pitcher. You let it go a little bit early, it sails high on you. That's exactly what happened. Jefferson tried to jump up but couldn't hold it.
Third down and goal to go. Joyner in motion back to the inside. Fouts dropping, throwing into the end zone, and incomplete. It was J.J. again. Dwayne Osteen covering it. Fourth down, and here comes Ralph Benershka. Field goal unit.
And again, Kellen Winslow was open. He ran it down and out down about the 5-yard line. He was wide open. What happened was Charlie Joyner and Winslow got messed up on the pattern. Joyner went down, running a post off of Kellen Winslow, and Joyner fell down. It cut his receiver selection from 3 down to 2. The ball was overthrown, intended for J.J., but again, Lindsey was open down at the 5-yard line, and there wasn't a Raider around him.
26-yard field goal attempt now for Ralph Benershka, with Fuller holding for him. Fuller down on one knee, hand out stretch, puts it down. Benershka boots it up, and the 26-yarder is good. So with the score, the Oakland Raiders 28, San Diego Chargers 17. Let's take time out.
This one's for you. There's no one else who does it quite the way you do. Here's to you. It don't you what you say, it's what you do. This one's for you.
buds for you. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
So the San Diego Chargers take the opening kickoff in the second half. They go 76 yards in 13 plays. They don't crack the Oakland Raider end zone, but they do come away with 3 points on the toe of Ralph Panushka. 26-yard field goal. So now it's Oakland 28 and San Diego 17.
Panushka has teed the ball up on the 35. Arthur Whittington and Keith Moody have retreated deep along the 5-yard line to receive the kickoff for the Oakland Raiders. 10 minutes, 26 seconds left in the third quarter. The Raiders are leading by a score of 28-17. Game has been played under cloudy skies with the lights on here at San Diego Jack Murphy Stadium. The ball is in the air over to Whittington's side of the field. Arthur Whittington at the 6, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20, stopped at the 22-yard line. So there is where the Oakland Raiders will begin. First and 10 at their own 22. On the return by Arthur Whittington.
Lindsey, kind of a key series of downs now for the Raider offense. They haven't been out there since late in the first half. San Diego defense has had a chance to get themselves charged up a little bit. The offense takes the kickoff down, puts some points up on the board. So now Oakland, a little bit rusty offensively. Plunkett had a red-hot first half, and it's up to the San Diego defense now, especially the front four, Fred Dean, Gary Johnson, Louis Kelcher, Leroy Jones, put some kind of pressure on Plunkett and help the secondary out, because with receivers like Chandler and Branch, you give Jim Plunkett time, he's going to find the open man.
King and Van Egan are the setbacks evened up. Dropping back is Plunkett. Throws it out to the right side and bounces it in front of his intended receiver, who is Chandler. Bob Chandler, the intended receiver, with the ball hit in front of him on one big hop. Second and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Plunkett 7 out of 10. Chandler was open, simply down and out, went down about 15 yards, curled to the outside. The 10-year veteran from USC, former Buffalo Bills speedster, which is why the Raiders picked him up. Chandler with one grab on the afternoon for 16 yards.
Here comes Cliff Bradshaw to a wide left, Chandler to a wide right. Running back still even up, and there's still Kenny King and Mark Van Egan. Crowd's trying to exhort the San Diego defense. Plunkett drops back, goes over the middle, and it's complete to Chester. Chester is stacked up at the 25-yard line by Woody Lowe. Made the catch, but it was hit immediately, so they picked up only 4 yards on the play to make it third down and 6 now at the 21-yard line. At the 25-yard line. Frank a little late coming back into the huddle now as it's reconvened. Clock is running. San Diego Chargers deploy their defense on a big third down play. This crowd is alive. This game was sold out almost from the moment tickets went on sale. Advertisements in the local papers in recent days, everybody asking for tickets. They're standing all over the stadium now. Plunkett takes the ball, rolls out to the right side and looks. Decides to run, but slips, and he's stopped at the 22-yard line. He is stopped by Leroy Jones and Louis Kelcher. Punting unit comes on, led by Ray Guy.
That's the 5th sack in this football game of Jim Plunkett. 2 of them he has slipped down, and the Chargers have been credited with. But that one couldn't have come, if you're a Charger fan, at a more opportune time. It backs them up. Ray Guy will try to boot them out of trouble. Guy has punted 3 times in this football game, averaging 55 yards.
What a punter. He's back there in deep punt formation. Now Fuller's dropped back to his own 31-yard line to receive it for the San Diego Chargers. Guy waiting for the snap in deep punt formation. Gets it off. High spiraling kick. Fuller is waiting at his 31. Jitterbugs a little bit, gets up to the 35, to the 40, makes this to the 45, to the 50. 45, and is stopped finally on the 41-yard line of the Oakland Raiders. Derek Ramsey brought him down as Mike Fuller returned the punt. It is first and 10 at the 41-yard line of Oakland and San Diego possession.
Well, not only did that punt return by Mike Fuller bring this crowd to its feet, but I want to tell you, you will never, ever see a block like Woodrow Lowe, number 51, put on Morris Bradshaw, number 81. Bradshaw was standing in the vicinity of Fuller waiting to make a tackle, and Woody Lowe came from about 5 yards across the field and just drilled him to the turf, opened up a big hole for Fuller.
Williams and Thomas in an I formation this time for the San Diego Chargers. Given to Thomas off the tail of the tandem, he goes to the 39-yard line for 2 yards, second and 8 at the 39.
This enthusiasm keeps up. You'll hear that Charger fight song about 30 more times before this one is done.
We have not seen Chuck Muncy in the ballgame this second half, very little in the second quarter. He's along the sideline. He's visible from our position here, but has not been in the ballgame at all here in the third quarter.
Actually, we've not seen him, Lindsey, since he dribbled that ball out of bounds. I wonder if maybe he pulled a muscle, but we haven't heard anything from the bench.
Dropping back now is Fouch. Over the middle and complete to Winslow. His first catch of the day goes down to the 27-yard line. First and 10 for San Diego at the Oakland 27. Pat Millen, the linebacker, brought him down.
We talked about it. Lindsey just called it for you. Kellen Winslow, who led the San Diego Chargers in receptions. His first pass completion, it came with 7:50 left to go in the third quarter, and the Chargers driving, trying to cut that Oakland deficit down from a 28-17 score. Simply a crossing pattern that time, and he beat Matt Millen, the rookie from Penn State, in so doing.
Crowd is alive. First and 10 at the 27-yard line. Wide receivers left and right, and there's a wing right as well. Fouch waiting for the snap. Drops back. Penalty marker thrown, and it's down to J.J. in the corner, and incomplete as he made the catch, but across the marker in the end zone. Illegal procedure is the preliminary signal against San Diego. That's the signal once again given by Cal Lepore. False start. J.J. down in the left corner, and he was trying to keep his feet in and make the catch. He made the catch, but he couldn't stay in bounds. It would have been to no avail in any case.
5 penalties, 46 yards.
False start, moving before the snap. Number 62, 67, first down.
Well, now word from the Charger bench that Chuck Muncy did indeed hurt his shoulder. He will not be back in this football game. They must have a radio down there. They heard us.
First and 15 at the 32-yard line. Chargers in Oakland territory. 7:24 remaining to be played in the third quarter of this game. That's Winslow in motion. Coming out to the left side. Dan Fouch swings it out. Taken by Thomas. He's at the 30, 25, 20. Thomas trying to get to the first down stick. Very close. At the 18-yard line, they'll have to take a long look. May have made it, may have missed by inches. And Cal Lepore is going to bring the 10 out there to take a look. Osteen and Rod Martin finally bringing Thomas down, and Lepore said, bring the sticks out.
That time, Kellen Winslow went downfield, cleared out the zone, then came back and helped throw the block that sprung Mike Thomas around the left side. As now, Fouch continues to accumulate yardage in gaping gaps now. 19 completions, 34 attempts, 295 yards, 2 touchdowns for Danny Fouch.
Just short. Cal Lepore got down on his knees, took a long look, and says, it's just that much, meaning less than an inch, actually. So the ball is going to be spotted with the chain at the inbounds marker at the 18-yard line, second down, and much less than a yard to go.
Thomas now, 5 catches, 41 yards, second down and inches, a good waist down right now. Why not throw it in the end zone? Try to isolate one of your backs, maybe out of the backfield, working one-on-one against Matt Millen. It was successful one play earlier by Kellen Winslow.
He's got McCreary in there tied in now, which means that Kellen Winslow is freed up to do the things he did all during the regular season when he led the National Football League in receptions with 89. Wide receivers left and right, and in the initial set, Winslow is a wing right. Lone setback is Thomas. Winslow starts in motion to the left, goes back to the right. Dropping back now, and here's the pass out to the right flat to Winslow. He's got the first down. Penalty marker thrown upfield. He's across to the 8-yard line, brought down by Matt Millen, the rookie linebacker. But there is a penalty to be checked out. The flag thrown at the 5-yard line and presently reported to Cal Lepore. Holding against Oakland.
Well, it was thrown down in the vicinity of the 5-yard line. In any case, it's going to be a San Diego Charger first down. Cal Lepore is explaining the options now to quarterback Dan Fouch for the San Diego Chargers. And you think that old momentum hasn't swung to the home team right now. You can hear the crowd rising to it.
Holding, number 83, defense before the pass, penalty decline, first down.
Now, Lindsey, the last time we saw that formation, that sideline pass to Kellen Winslow, he fired a ball 40 yards on the strike to John Jefferson for a big first down.
First and goal to go for the San Diego Chargers at the Oakland 8-yard line. Same formation they were in before, except this time they moved Winslow over to a wing left. Thomas the lone setback. Thomas has got the ball, finds a little opening, goes to the 6-yard line. He got 2 yards. It'll be second down and goal to go at the 6. Reggie Kinlaw in to make the tackle. Here comes Muncie back onto the field. Chuck Muncie comes out. Fans recognize that, and he's getting something of an ovation. At a point where the San Diego Chargers need some power on the ground. They held the ball at the 6-yard line, second down and goal to go. Thomas is walking off, not running off, walking off the field to the sideline. Here they come out of the huddle, up to the line. Jefferson to the left side, Joyner to the right. Muncie is the lone setback. Muncie gets the ball, tries the left side. He is at the goal line. Touchdown! Muncie took it in. Chuck Muncie lowered that shoulder and took it in. And he's being mobbed by San Diego Chargers. Doug Wilkerson threw a key block for him, as he does so very often. And the San Diego Chargers have scored for the second time in this quarter.
Well, when you called Chuck Muncie coming back into the lineup, you said because they needed some power. I wanted to add they need some speed and power. That time on the sweep to the left side, they all pulled out. The San Diego Charger offensive line, Doug Wilkerson, Ed White leading the blocking, along with Kellen Winslow. And Fouts, he could tell. He's seen that sweep from behind so many times. He was back at the 15-yard line. He put his arms up when Muncie reached the 6-yard line. He had a convoy in.
28-23, conversion attempt coming. The snap, Benershka's kick is good. So there's a timeout on the field with a score. The Oakland Raiders 28, the San Diego Chargers 24.
Join us as we talk sports each Saturday morning at 9:30 on your radio station on the Coach's Corner program. We visit with people who know about sports and are involved in the making of the stories. We keep you informed on sports each day on your radio station, and the Coach's Corner program each Saturday at 9:30 a.m. is an opportunity for us to give you the straight story on sports and keep you on top of things. The Coach's Corner program. Just one more reason WYER is your sports leader.
Traffic control signals. Vehicular traffic facing the signal shall comply with the meaning of the circular green, steady yellow, steady red, or green arrow. Vehicular traffic may cautiously enter the intersection to make the movement indicated by the arrow. Left and right turns can be made on a circular green light providing you are in the proper lane. Pedestrians facing the signal shall comply with the signal unless otherwise directed by a pedestrian signal. This is Tony Compton, Traffic Safety Officer, Mount Carmel Police Department, because WYR cares.
This is Mark.
Well, you certainly got to credit the San Diego Charger defense because they set up the offense in pretty good field position. The Chargers go 41 yards in 6 plays, and certainly Mike Fuller's electrifying punt return that took it down inside Oakland territory helped out as well. Chuck Muncie powered it in from 6 yards out, and the Chargers have struck quickly here in the second half. They have pulled it within 4.
Kicking off, Benershka from the 35. Arthur Whittington and Keith Moody are deep to receive it for the Oakland Raiders. 6 minutes, 13 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Starting play in the third quarter, San Diego trailed by 14. Now they trail by 4. They've scored 10 in less than 10 minutes. Benershka puts it up. And comparatively short, Whittington up, takes it at the 11-yard line. He is at the 15, at the 20, and he gets to the 23-yard line. That is where they'll start. It was Jerome Dove in a collision course with Whittington. He'll get the ball at their 23. They move the football against the defense of the San Diego Chargers.
Well, the Oakland Raiders are a playoff-proven team, of course. They are the only organization in the National Football League to have 16 consecutive winning seasons to their credit, and they've not had a losing season since 1964.
Jim Plunkett brings them up, wide receivers left and right. Van Egan and King of the setback. Taken by Van Egan, and he goes to the left side and gets across to the 26-yard line. Gained 3 on the play to make it second down and 7 yards to go.
3 yards.
Louis Kelcher on the tackle. 3 of those front 4 defensive linemen for the San Diego Chargers will be in the Pro Bowl. Louis Kelcher, Gary Johnson, Fred Dean.
Time of possession now in the third quarter. The Chargers have had the ball for over 7 minutes. The Raiders for just 1 minute 44 seconds.
Cliff Reich to the left side. Bob Chandler to the right side. Plunkett waiting for the snap. He's got it. Gives it out to King. Kenny King hits it across the 30 and drives it up for a 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line. Louis Kelcher brought him down.
Big play. Big play by Kenny King, exploding off the line of scrimmage. Big plays also by Mickey Marvin, Henry Lawrence over there on the right side, along with the veteran center Dave Dalby, to open up the hole for King. Simply straight ahead over the right side where there was a huge hole, and King is so quick. That's why they got him from the Houston Oilers. They needed a quick back. They already had the power back in Mark Van Egan.
First and 10, they have it at their own 34-yard line. Van Egan and King evened up, dropping back now. It's Plunkett on first down, going to the air, and he completes it to King on the right side at the 40-yard line, 45 to the 50, breaks the tackle, 45, and he's dragged out the 44-yard line by Willie Buchanan. First and 10 for the Oakland Raiders at the San Diego 44-yard line.
And if Buchanan, the 9-year veteran from San Diego State, didn't get Kenny King, it was 6 for the Oakland Raiders. He simply swung out of the backfield that time, was actually the safety valve, the checkoff receiver, if you will. Took it at about the 38-yard line, ran right around and threw Ray Preston. Then got away from number 51, Woody Lowe, and finally Buchanan pulled him down. Otherwise, Kenny King was off to the races.
So now the Oakland Raiders have the ball in San Diego territory. They're sending Chandler to the right side. Cliff Price to the left side. The running backs are evened up for Jim Plunkett. Plunkett now fakes the handoff. Scrambles a little bit, sets up and guns it, and it's complete. Taken at the 35 by Chester, coming back, and he is bounced out of bounds by Preston at the 26-yard line. Ray Preston bounced Chester out. Chester came back to take the pass.
That's what the veteran receiver will do. He'll come back, try to help the quarterback out. He saw Louis Kelcher was bearing in on Plunkett. Plunkett tried to freeze the linebacker, faked the handoff to Kenny King, but Kelcher was in from the left side. Number 71, Fred Dean, was in from the right side. Chester came back. He ran around Mike Fuller and finally was bumped out of bounds by Ray Preston, who came from all the way over on the left side and knocked him so. 4 catches, 93 yards, 1 touchdown for Ray Chester.
Chester goes out. Derek Ramsey comes in at the tight end. Ball is at the 26-yard line of San Diego. The Oakland Raiders are driving, leading by 4 points. And off to King. He goes to the left side, inside the 20-yard line to the 18, and he stopped there.
And off to number 33.
It's Williams on the corner, making the stop there. Picks up about 8 yards on the play to make it second down and 2 yards to go at the 18 for the Oakland Raiders. 3 minutes, 35 seconds remaining to be played in the third quarter. The Raiders are leading 28-24, driving here. Van Egan has the ball. He goes for the first and 10, and it is near the 15-yard line. Fred Dean, Gary Johnson, bottom of the stack there.
Simply powering over the left guard spot. Number 63, Gene Upshaw, has been around for so many veteran years, 14 years from Texas A&M, 6'5", 255, the Raider guard, their offensive captain, playing and starting in his 23rd postseason game. And it's the 10th American Conference Championship game for Gene Upshaw. That ties a record set by number 16, George Blandon.
First and 10 at the 15-yard line. The Oakland Raiders driving. King and Van Egan the setbacks. Motion from Branch all the way across from the left set. Here's Van Egan going to the left side. And he gets it out there about the 12-yard line. Fred Dean, number 71, riding him to the turf at the 12.
Number 71, Fred Dean.
And a 3 on the play will make it second down and 7 yards to go.
Of course, the Chargers now are thinking keep them out of the end zone, settle for the 3 points, well within Chris Barr's range. And if Barr would kick a field goal, that would make it 31-24. Chargers could tie it on a touchdown. This one's a long, long way from being over. 2 explosive football teams.
Second and 7 at the 12-yard line. King's on the left side, Van Egan on the right side, wide receivers left and right. King to the right side, turns on the speed inside the 10, and he is dragged down at about the 7-8-yard line. It is Glenn Edwards on the saving tackle.
The 10-year man from Texas A&M, former Pittsburgh Steeler, knows how to bring down a running back in an open field, and that's what Kenny King was. Sliding down the line of scrimmage, waiting for a block. Finally, he accelerated, and Kenny King now will check out for a well-deserved rest. He's carried 10 times for 33 yards in the football game, and it's a big third down now. 3rd and 3 for the Oakland offense. Equally big play for the San Diego Charger defense. Oakland 5 out of 9 on third down conversions.
3rd and 3 at the 8-yard line. This is Whittington. He stumbles and is sacked up for a loss at the 10-yard line. Whittington stumbled a little bit as he tried to skirt out to the left side. Louis Kelcher cut him off there, and here comes the field goal unit on, led out there by Chris Barr.
But not before Cal Lepore can recover the football from Fred Dean. Fred Dean thought he had stripped Arthur Whittington of the football, and he was off to the races, but the whistle had blown. So we'll see Chris Barr try to up it to a 31-24 Oakland advantage. Just about a chip shot.
They're setting it up now with Chandler to hold. This will be a 27-yarder. Chandler, hand outstretched, puts it down. Barr boots it up, and it's good. So the field goal is good. There's a timeout on the field with the score. The Oakland Raiders 31 and the San Diego Chargers 24.
Chris Barr's 27-yard field goal has put Oakland out in front 31-24 in this wild and woolly shootout here at Jack Murphy San Diego Stadium. Not totally unanticipated. The Chargers won in overtime 30-24 in the second game of the season. Then Oakland reversed that decision back at home 38-24. So as you expect, it might be the last team to touch the football that pulls this game out. Chargers are down by 7. They get the equalizer and watch this crowd come alive. They're not exactly on low lead right now, however.
Ball is teed up by Chris Barr on the 35. Ron Smith has dropped back along with Hank Bauer to receive it. Here comes Barr. Puts it over to Bauer's side of the field. Retreats, takes it at the goal line. 5 to the 10. Bauer to the 15, goes outside left to the 20, and is stopped at the 22-yard line. So that is where the Chargers will start, 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
You know, we talk an awful lot about Ron Smith on the receiving end, the third-year man from San Diego State. He threw a beautiful block down there at about the 15-yard line that enabled the Chargers to pick up another 9, maybe 10 yards on that return. Danny Fouts now 19 of 35, 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Goes to work as he's got his team about 78 yards away from tying up this American Football Conference Championship.
We are very late in the third quarter, 40 seconds on the clock, which will start on the snap. Remaining to be played in the third quarter of this ball game. Now we are getting a timeout signal from Cal Lepore, the referee, and officials timeout. So play is suspended for the moment.
We got to sell something.
We do. And now with the score. The Raiders 31, the Chargers 24. Let's take timeout.
Welcome to the Office of the Future. Makes corrections right here on the display screen.
Send text electronically from your office to anywhere.
Whole paragraphs
with a touch of a button.
The old-fashioned typewriter. Even adds and subtracts, multiplies and divides. Change margin.
Change page number. Change heading. Change column.
Change type style. The world of business machines. It's a confusing tangle of equipment, capabilities, and promises. But now, out of the confusion, emerges Exxon Office Systems Company. We've innovated such advances in office technology as Quix, the intelligent typewriter, an electronic marvel with a host of automatic features that free secretaries from the monotony of routine office typing. We also make other advanced office products. But most of all, we want to help make your office more productive. Introducing Exxon Office Systems. For information, call 800-327-6666. In Florida, call 1-800-432-0800.
San Diego with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line. Dan Fouts retreating short, drop, puts it up long. And it's incomplete. Up near the midfield marker. Covering defensive was Dwayne Osteen on the play. Jefferson, the intended receiver, is getting up slowly, but apparently he's all right. 34 seconds now on the clock, which is stopped, of course, on the incompletion. 2nd down and 10 yards to go. San Diego with the ball at their own 22.
You know, when Fouts has had success, he has had success running the crossing patterns, the post patterns, when he can utilize his wide receivers' great speed working one-on-one. When you throw those deep fly patterns, either down the left or the right sideline, you allow the free safety to come over. In this case, Burgess Owens. He helped out Dwayne Osteen. You have double coverage on your receiver. That's when you risk the interception.
Fouts again, and this time he sheds a tackler, but can't shed the second one. And he is sacked back there at the 16-yard line by Willie Jones.
Tackle by number 90, Willie Jones.
Raiders are starting to bang people around down there in the secondary. Last time they took down John Jefferson. This time, number 42, Monty Jackson, the 6-year man from San Diego State, really popped Kellen Winslow, and Winslow is limping off down at about the midfield stripe. He will not be back for a while.
Winslow assisted off the field and is going to be taken over to a bench where he can be stretched out there, limping badly as he goes. Kellen Winslow.
That's a lot to stretch. 6'5 and a half, 225.
He refuses to sit down, gets up, and continues to walk in front of the bench. Here's 3rd and 16 at the 16-yard line. Ron Smith in there at the wide receiver now, dropping back. Here's Fouts. Puts this one up long, and it's incomplete. Jefferson was the intended receiver. Mike Davis made a move far across the sideline, running into somebody across the way and bowling him over.
Fouts never saw it. Willie Jones sacked him after he threw the ball. Again, Jefferson fell down. That's what happened the first time. Jefferson was mad at himself because on that down and out to the sideline, that's simply a timing pass. And you try to get it to the man before he makes his cut, otherwise the defender is right there. Partridge into punt. He's only had to punt the ball one time, 41 yards.
Aaron Matthews is back to field it for the Raiders. Last week he was in only to receive one punt, which was a fair catch because of his injury. Now the ball hits at the 50, bounce to the 45. Matthews takes it to the 44, running laterally and gets up to the 49-yard line, his own 49, where The Oakland Raiders will start with excellent field position, 1st and 10. And that's the end of the third quarter with the score, the Oakland Raiders 31, the San Diego Chargers 24. San Diego with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line. Dan Fouts retreating short drop, puts it up long. And it's incomplete. Up near the midfield marker. Covering defensive was Dwayne Osteen on the play. Jefferson, the intended receiver, is getting up slowly, but apparently he's all right. 34 seconds now on the clock, which is stopped, of course, on the incompletion. 2nd down and 10 yards to go. San Diego with the ball at their own 22.
You know, when Fouts has had success, he has had success running the crossing patterns, the post patterns, when he can utilize his wide receivers' great speed working one-on-one. When you throw those deep fly patterns, either down the left or the right sideline, you allow the free safety to come over. In this case, Burgess Owens. He helped out Dwayne Osteen. You have double coverage on your receiver. That's when you risk the interception.
Fouts again, and this time he sheds a tackler, but can't shed the second one. And he is sacked back there at the 16-yard line by Willie Jones.
Tackled by number 90, Willie Jones.
Raiders are starting to bang people around down there in the secondary. Last time they took down John Jefferson. This time, number 42, Monty Jackson, the 6-year man from San Diego State, really popped Kellen Winslow, and Winslow is limping off down at about the midfield stripe. He will not be back for a while.
Winslow assisted off the field and is going to be taken over to a bench where he can be stretched out there, limping badly as he goes. Kellen Winslow.
That's a lot to stretch. 6'5 and a half, 225.
He refuses to sit down, gets up, and continues to walk in front of the bench. Here's 3rd and 16 at the 16-yard line. Ron Smith in there at the wide receiver now, dropping back. Here's Fouts. Puts this one up long, and it's incomplete. Jefferson was the intended receiver. Mike Davis made a move far across the sideline, running into somebody across the way and bowling him over.
Fouts never saw it. Willie Jones sacked him after he threw the ball. Again, Jefferson fell down. That's what happened the first time. Jefferson was mad at himself because on that down and out to the sideline, that's simply a timing pass. And you try to get it to the man before he makes his cut, otherwise the defender is right there. Partridge into punt. He's only had to punt the ball one time, 41 yards.
Aaron Matthews is back to field it for the Raiders. Last week he was in only to receive one punt, which was a fair catch because of his injury. Now the ball hits at the 50, bounces to the 45. Matthews takes it to the 44, running laterally and gets up to the 49-yard line, his own 49, where the Oakland Raiders will start with excellent field position, 1st and 10. And that's the end of the third quarter with the score, the Oakland Raiders 31, the San Diego Chargers 24.
Jim Kelly, Lindsey Nelson, back with you from San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium. We've got 15 minutes left in regulation. The Chargers on the short end by a 31-24 count. The Oakland Raiders bidding to get into Super Bowl 15 against the Philadelphia Eagles, who downed the Dallas Cowboys by a score of 20-7 this afternoon at Frozen Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. After 3 quarters, first downs, well, the Chargers have 21. Oakland has 14. San Diego with 50 yards rushing to Oakland 71. In passing, Dan Fouts is 20 of 38 to Jim Plunkett's 10 of 13, and Plunkett was 7 out of 9 at the half, so you can see who's had the ball most of the third quarter. Fouts 315 yards to Plunkett's 206, total yards 365 for the Chargers, 277 for Oakland, but the turnovers have been the story. 3 for the Chargers, 1 for Oakland, who leads by 7.
Oakland with the ball at their own 49-yard line. A handout to Van Egan. He gets across the 50-yard mark of the 45-40 and on down to the 38-yard line. Willie Buchanan coming in to make the tackle on Van Egan. It's going to be spotted near the 37-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Oakland Raiders as they open up the fourth quarter of the ball game, leading by 7 and driving.
And, of course, very important possession for the Oakland Raiders. They've only had the ball twice during the entire third quarter. This, the initial possession of the fourth quarter, but they would like to come away with some points, certainly a field goal, to put them up by 10 rather than 7.
Whittington and Van Egan are the setback. For quarterback Jim Plunkett here is Whittington trying the left side, but runs into a whole stack of people and gets 2 yards to the 35, which will be 2nd down, and 8 yards to go.
Give him 2 yards.
They get him unstacked, and Cal Lepore marks the ball ready for play, says wind it up. Each of the participating members here today will receive $9,000, and then the winners, of course, go on into the Super Bowl, where the winners get 18 and the losers get another 9 each.
Cost you about 10 of that 18 just to stay in New Orleans Super Bowl week.
Take money, lots of money. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. Dropping back. Jim Plunkett. And he throws, and it is complete to Chester at the 30-yard line. He is hit immediately by Woody Lowe. Makes the sure tackle at the 30, so it's a gain of only 5, making it 3rd and 3.
Pretty good play that time by Woody Lowe, who stood up Ray Chester, and that's no easy task. Raymond is 6'4", 235, and Woody is only 6 feet, 227, but he stuck his helmet right in there and stayed with him one-on-one. Brings up third down. Don't need to tell you how important it is for both teams. Whittington checked out. Kenny King with the good speed, the better speed than Whittington, checks in.
Third down and 3 yards to go. Oakland ball at the San Diego 30-yard line. Wide receivers left and right. Penalty marker thrown at the line. The ball is taken by Plunkett, and he completes it to Bryce at the 25. Bryce is at the 24, and he's dragged down there.
Chargers were offsides. Now, were they drawn offsides?
That's the question, and the officials go into conclave. The linesman is telling Cal Lepore offside. They get San Diego. They were not drawn offside.
What year was it when you saw your very first conclave?
Wasn't long ago. That's a new word as far as I'm concerned.
Side, 79, defense, penalty decline, first down.
That's Gary Johnson, the 6-year man from Grambling who jumped offside. So it's now first down at the 24-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. Their defense now backed up. They certainly cannot afford to give up a touchdown right now. They would prefer not to even give up a field goal. So they like to back them up, maybe sack Plunkett, maybe force the turnover, a fumble, or an interception.
Bryce and Chandler double to the left side. Handed off to Van Egan. I beg your pardon, Kenny King, and he goes to the 20-yard line. Louis Kelcher in to make the tackle. At the 20-yard line again, a 4. It'll be second down and 6 yards to go.
4 yards on the play.
Clock is running with 12 minutes, 50 seconds left to play in this game.
San Diego cornerbacks now. Mike Williams, Willie Buchanan playing way off the wide receivers. Over on the left side that time was Cliff Branch. Chandler was over on the right side. Also the safety men, Glenn Edwards and Mike Fuller are dropping way back to help cover out those speedsters. That opens up the middle sometimes for the quick pass to the tight end or the back sliding out of the backfield.
Kenny King is in a wing right. Van Egan, the lone setback, as Plunkett drops back. Goes it to Van Egan on the right flat, and it's incomplete. Off his fingertips. Bumped immediately by Mike Fuller, but it's simply an incompleted pass behind the line.
And you won't see Van Egan drop too many like that. He heard the footsteps of Mike Fuller, number 42, the 6-year veteran from Auburn, coming up, and simply took his eye off the football. Third down conversions now. Oakland 6 out of 11. This is a big one. The ball on the 20-yard line of the Chargers. They need 6 yards for the first down. Certainly well within Chris Barr field goal range, but in one of the two meetings, Chris Barr missed 4 out of 5 field goals, and the Chargers won.
Whittington has brought the play in. Kenny King has gone out. It's Whittington and Van Egan. They're doubling Chandler and Bryce to the right side. Third down play. Plunkett dropping back. Sets it up, runs out of the pocket, stops, looks back, throws, and it's complete at the 9-yard line. Gathered in by Chandler. It'll be first and goal at the 9-yard line for the Oakland Raiders.
Bob Chandler.
Well, you've got to give Jim Plunkett all the credit in the world that time. In the face of a pretty good pass rush by the San Diego Chargers, he hung back in the pocket, looked for the open receiver. He actually was looking for Raymond Chester, who was covered very well on a crossing pattern. Then he looked down to the left corner of the end zone for Cliff Branch. By that time, he had to scramble out of the pocket. He's running to his left, looking back to his right, firing to his right, and he found Bob Chandler, the ex-Buffalo Bill, inside the 10 for a key Oakland Raider first down.
Wilbur Young is coming there defensively now for San Diego. First and goal at the 9-yard line for the Oakland Raiders. Leave it on the ground. Whittington carries it into the 7-yard line. Picked up 2 at second down and goal at the 7 on the 2-yard gain by Arthur Whittington.
Now, of course, if you're the Raiders, you're thinking touchdown, but the last thing you want to do is throw the ball away carelessly in the end zone, have it picked up, and come away on this drive with no points. You're ahead by 7, 31-24. And even a field goal puts it 10 points. It means San Diego has to score twice.
Raymond Chester goes off the field. Derek Ramsey, 225-pounder, 6'4", comes in at tight end. Second on goal to go at the 7-yard line. They double Bryce and Chester to the left side. Give it off to Van Egan. Inside the 5, dives to the 4-yard line. Third down and goal at the 4 as Van Egan carried and Fred Dean cut him out. Once again, they get him unstacked.
Kind of crowded up above. You look upstairs here, there's a helicopter, there's a small plane, there's a jet, and some balloons.
People around San Diego will do anything to see this game. Third down, goal to go at the 4-yard line. Todd Christensen comes into the ball game now for the Oakland Raiders, and so does Derek Jensen. And stays in. He's evened up with Jensen. And now, a timeout signal is indicated, and it's charged to Oakland. Timeout, Oakland Raiders. And with the score, Oakland 31, San Diego 24. Let's take time out.
Have newspaper headlines of soaring interest rates and tight credit made you put off buying that new car or truck you need today? Well, GMAC has the answer. Your GM dealer who uses GMAC not only has money available, but at rates that make good sense. In fact, rates today haven't changed that much from rates 3 or 4 years ago when you bought your last car. Check out all the models at your Chevy, Pontiac, Olds, Buick, Cadillac, or GMC truck dealer. Your GM dealer has the GMAC financing you need today.
The place, the sales department at Westinghouse in Palo Alto. This is a $3 million contract. We can't afford to miss it because of some delayed reports.
The Pittsburgh Research Center just sent the report.
But the presentation is tomorrow.
They'll be here. They were sent by express mail service.
Overnight, express mail service delivers. Gentlemen, our research shows that we express mail next day service. Overnight from over 2,000 post offices, we deliver. Sponsored by your postal service.
28, the Chargers, thank you. Jim Kelly, Lindsey Nelson with a San Diego Charger fight song looming in the background. They have just announced the attendance, 52,675, about 250-some no-shows, and they booed them. Those people are still out in the parking lot, probably locked in a trailer.
You're so right. 3rd down and goal to go now for the Oakland Raiders. They have the ball inside the 4-yard line of San Diego. Another big 3rd down play coming here. Chester and Ramsey in a double tight end alignment. Jensen in motion outside right. Ball is hidden by Plunkett. He's chased out and he's stopped. He's stopped at the 15-yard line by Woody Lowe. He tried to bootleg it back to hide it, and he was stopped by a firing Woody Lowe at the 15-yard line.
The 5-year veteran from Alabama came on the blitz and sacked Jim Plunkett. That's the 6th time in this football game that Plunkett has been thrown down. They faked the inside handoff to Van Egan. Woody Lowe just blew by him, would have none of it. And they were looking for Chester on a crossing pattern. That time Woody Lowe got to Plunkett, and it sets up the field goal try by Chris Barr.
With Bob Chandler holding for him. And this will be a 33-yard attempt from the hash mark left. Chandler down on one knee. And outstretched. Here's the snap. Barr boots it, and it is good. So the Oakland Raiders have come back with a field goal. There's a timeout on the field with the score. The Raiders 34, the Chargers 24.
34-24, 9:46 left to go on the clock. Chris Barr about to set up as the Air Corps of Don Coryell, Dan Fouts, and his 3 outstanding all-pro receivers will go to work and try to cut that Raider lead down to 3 points again.
Here comes Barr. And again, it's over to Bauer's side. He muffs it. It goes into the end zone and hits the end line. That's a touchback. It'll be put in play 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. So the San Diego Chargers start from their own 20, 1st and 10.
Somehow, Lindsey, you get the idea. You know San Diego's going to score another touchdown. You just have that feeling here playing at home that this game will come down to the last few seconds, and it'll be John Jefferson streaking for the end zone against Lester Hayes, and one or the other is going to make a great play. It's just got to come down to that. You get that feeling.
It might very well. Here come the Chargers. Now Chuck Muncie is in there. Had a setback, 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. Jefferson in motion across. Ron Smith opening up to a wide right. Jefferson comes to a stop in the slot left. Johners in the wide left, dropping back his pouch. Throwing long to Ron Smith. Ron Smith, and he can't hold on. Running side to side with him was Burgess Owen. So it is an incompletion, and it's going to be 2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line.
And again, Lindsey, I hasten to point out here that when Dan Fouts has had the most success, he's had it working over the middle on crossing patterns or one-on-one. When he's run those fly patterns down the left side or the right side, invariably they've either been picked off or batted or gone for long incompletions. I think with the speed of the San Diego Chargers, I'm surprised that they go to those pass patterns.
2nd down. Joanna out of the huddle to the left side. Both Smith and Jefferson are double to the right side. Now they move Smith over to a wing left. Muncie the lone setback. Fouts retreating. Throwing long to Ron Smith. Incomplete. Covered there by Monty Jackson.
Monty Johnson, number 42, the 6-year man from San Diego State again, right with Ron Smith. It looked like Smith might have him beaten, but Jackson made up the territory very quickly and closed it off. Looked like there might have been some contact there, but no complaining by Ron Smith. Crowd groaned a little bit, but no call. Cal Lepore and the officials right on top of it.
3rd down play coming. Muncie comes off the field. Mike Thomas comes in. So if the San Diego Chargers are to keep the drive alive and retain possession, they have to move the ball on this 3rd down. Wide receivers left and right. Motion across, that's Joyner. Fouts Goes to Joyner at the 30-yard line, and he takes it out of bounds at the 36-yard line. First and 10 for the Chargers. Wayne Osteen made the tackle.
Osteen wrestles Joyner out of bounds. If you want to do it, that's the wrong place to do it, right in front of the opponent's bench. Good guys and the bad guys. The bad guys are dressed in the black and silver uniforms of the Oakland Raiders, invading the home territory of the San Diego Chargers, winner in the West. Charlie Joyner now. 6 catches, 124 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Dan Fouts said the Oakland Raiders aren't sinister. Their Taylor is sinister. First and 10 now at the 36-yard line. John Floyd is in there, the wide receiver. He goes out to a wide left. Ball is handed off to Muncie. He cuts to the right side. Drives to the 40 to the 45. Knocks off Thomas, but he got the first down as he got it up to the 48-yard line. Willie Jones made the hit. First and 10 for the Chargers at the 48, and the Charger is down. Back about the 38-yard line, getting up ever so slowly. And that is Ron Smith. He's being assisted over toward the sideline. The official cuts him off and sends for the training staff to assist him off.
And also down on one knee for the Oakland Raiders is number 90, Willie Jones, the second-year man from Florida State. He's down at the San Diego 45-yard line. Go back to that quote by Danny Fouts. You talk about the uniforms. Charlie Joyner said this week, with all of the quotations that we've been accumulating, that there is something intimidating about black uniforms. The Raiders are getting to the point like the Pittsburgh Steelers. You see black, and there's something that looks just a little bit mean about them out there. Of course, we had the battle of the great Jersey Bulls at Veterans Stadium today. Dick Vermeil, the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, decided that his team would wear the white jerseys. Ordinarily, they wear green at home, the Eagles do, thus forcing the Dallas Cowboys to wear the much-hated blue uniforms. Dallas is 10-10 when they wear the blue jerseys. And 3 of the 4 Dallas Cowboy losses this year came when Dallas was on the road and forced to wear the blue uniform. So Dick Vermeil, looking for any kind of a psychological edge, had Dallas wear blue, and the Eagles win the game 20-7. But uniforms don't run, tackle, block, pass, and catch.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line. Dan Fouts throwing, and it is deflected incomplete. Throwing off to the left side, trying to hit J.J. Monty Jackson was the defender there. So it's going to be 2nd and 10, and it's at the 48-yard line. Kellen Winslow was the nearer receiver, and Jefferson, the long receiver, headed for the sideline. The incompletion makes it 2nd and 10.
Somebody asked Charger coach Don Coryell if this was the biggest game for him this year, or maybe of his career. He said, how could any game be any bigger than the Pittsburgh game, the Monday night game here on CBS Radio, when the Chargers had to win that game or miss the playoffs altogether? Or is it any bigger than the Buffalo game, because if you lose, you're out?
Dropping back now is Dan Fouts. Steps up, and he is hit just as he threw the ball. It's deflected back incomplete. Fouts is down, face down, rolling over slowly. He was blindsided just as he turned the ball loose, and Ted Hendricks got a hand up to bat the ball back beyond Fouts. Incomplete.
It was Hendricks that got the hand up, but it was Joe Campbell who was getting to Dan Fouts. Campbell, 6'6", 250, a 4-year man from Maryland, putting all kinds of pressure in from the left side. Hendricks came in from the right side, and they 1-2 Danny Fouts. Oakland now with 2 quarterback sacks, the Chargers with 6.
Third down situation again, 3rd and 10 for San Diego at their own 48-yard line. Wide receivers double to the right side, wide receiver to the left side. Joyner back to a slot. Now Fouts dropping back and throwing, and it is complete at the 40-yard line. Winslow takes it out of bounds at the 31. It's the 1st and 10 for San Diego at the Oakland 31-yard line. Burgess Owens and Lester Hayes bouncing Winslow out of bounds. He reached down to make the low catch.
Down would be an understatement. Got it around his shoe tops. He's 6'5", 252. The ball was thrown below the knees. Winslow, 3 grabs, 36 yards after going most of the football game with no reception. Simply ran down, let Jefferson clear the right side, made his little move to the right, and picked up a crucial first down for the Chargers.
As they come out of the huddle, Muncie rushes onto the field, and Thomas rushes off. First and 10 outside the 31-yard line. Jefferson moves over to a wing right. Fouts takes the ball, gives it off to Muncie. He picked up a yard, maybe 2, and Ted Hendricks cut him off, along with Mike Davis, as he approached the 30-yard line.
Stop by number 83, Ted Hendricks.
They get 2nd down and 9 at the 30-yard line.
1 yard.
Muncie got into the ball game just in time to get the play and get the ball, and picked up a yard. The Oakland Raiders are leading by 10 points, 34-24. We have 8 minutes left to play in this game.
Good thing he got in time. His number was called.
Winslow's in the wide left. Joyner's in the wide right. There goes Jefferson in motion across right to left. Stopping back is Fouts. And he throws, and it is incomplete. at the 15-yard line. No marker thrown, but I can see there is a marker thrown. Upfield, Winslow is down.
I would think he would be down.
Monty Jackson was the defender. Interference is the call against Oakland. That is Winslow getting attention there from the training staff of the San Diego Chargers.
It looked to me, Lindsey, as if number 42, Monty Jackson, had his hand right on the helmet, maybe even the face mask of Kellen Winslow. He went high up for it, and Jackson tried to pull him down by the helmet. Now, whether or not the hand came around on the front part of the face mask is simply an interpretation of the official.
First down at the 25-yard line is where the ball has been placed. The hand is for Winslow, who's coming off under his own power. First and 10 for the Chargers at the 25-yard line of the Oakland Raiders.
Winslow going down, cutting inside at about the 20, and had his head snapped back by Monty Jackson.
So here come the Chargers. Running back evened up. Bouch waiting for the snap. Gives it off to Muncie. Penalty marker thrown. There was movement at the line of scrimmage before the snap. Muncie cut in there to about the 23-yard line before Willie Jones made the stop. Penalty is against the San Diego Chargers.
All kinds of motion in the interior line will cost them 5 yards. Clock now becoming a factor. 7:42 left to go in regulation, and San Diego's down by 10.
False start, 67. Offense moving before the snap. First down.
That's Ed White. It's got to be first down and 15 yards to go. San Diego at the Oakland 30-yard line. Kellen Winslow is back in the ball game now for San Diego. 7 minutes, 42 seconds left to play. The Oakland Raiders leading by 10 points. A critical drive as far as San Diego is concerned. Winslow in motion across to a wing right. Dan Fouts waits for the snap. Drops back to look. Steps up and he's hit. As his arm started forward, the ball is loose and is picked up by Ted Hendrick. It's ruled a fumble and a recovery at the 40-yard line for Hendrick. And so the Oakland Raiders get the ball at the 40.
Fumble on the play. Let's check it and see if we've got a flag down.
We do, and the penalty's against Oakland.
It's down at about the 20-yard line. And down there, I believe, in the vicinity of where Kellen Winslow was.
Dal Lepore, the referee, picks up the ball, is marching it goalward. He has passed the 25-yard line, puts it back there at the 25. Previous line of scrimmage was the 30.
Illegal contact, 42. Defense, first down.
Illegal contact. Cost them 5 yards, but it's an automatic first.
Monty Jackson again, the second big flag thrown against Jackson. He stayed with Kellen Winslow beyond the 5-yard zone. You cannot do that. Result the flag. 7 penalties, 55 yards against the Raiders, and Tom Flores is hot on the Raiders sideline.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line. Out, handing it off to Chuck Muncie. He's at the 20, he's at the 15, he's at the 10. Stolen out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Another first down for the San Diego Chargers. Burgess Owens bounced him out. Let's pause 5 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
You're listening to WYER FM Mount Carmel. It is currently 7 o'clock, 17 degrees.
Dan Audick will never throw a finer block in his football life, at least in this football game. 6'3", 253. He blew out the left side, the third-year man from Hawaii, and enabled Chuck Muncie to turn the corner on the right side, and then another key block thrown by Kellen Winslow. It's another first down for the Chargers.
First and goal inside the 10-yard line. Floyd's in a wide left. Jefferson out of the ball game at the moment. Winslow in motion across right. It's taken by Muncie. Drops the ball at the 10-yard line. Muncie dropped the ball. The scramble is on, and San Diego retains possession. Chuck Muncie fumble. But San Diego recovered the football. Oakland protesting that they recovered the football.
Cedric Hartman doing most of the protesting. Tom Flores just shakes his head, and Don Coryell sighs a huge sigh of relief. Never had the snap. Muncie dribbled it from the moment Fouts tried to stick it in his midriff, and Fouts did very well to get the ball back.
Second down and goal. The ball is spotted squarely at the 10-yard line. Joyner goes out to a wide left. Floyd to a wide right. Muncie's a setback. Floyd in motion back to the inside. Fouts to Muncie. And Muncie breaks the tackle and stumbles out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. Took the pass out in the right flat. Mike Davis, the defender over there. It'll be third down and goal at the 8-yard line.
That time the Raiders blitzed from the left side. Fouts picked it up very well, audibleized, and threw it off to Muncie around the right side. Picked up short yardage, brings up a very important third down now for the San Diego Chargers. Of course, they're still 10 points away, so it's imperative they come away with some points, whether it is the touchdown or the field goal.
They're doubling Joyner and Jefferson to the left side. Kellen Winslow is lining up in a wing left initially. Ron Smith in a wide right. Joyner in motion. About stopping back. Throw is out to Kellen Winslow, incomplete. In the left flat, Kellen Winslow made a leaping try. Fourth down, and here comes the field goal unit. Rolf Benerschke coming out. Mike Fuller will hold for him.
Now, Winslow is limping off. He hurt himself 3 plays before this. Don't forget, he was victimized by Monty Jackson. And Winslow was open. They cleared the zone. Fouts simply threw it a little bit too high, about a foot too high. And Winslow came down very tenderly on that ginger right ankle. He is limping off.
27-yard attempt now with Fuller holding for Benerschke. Fuller down on one knee, hand outstretched. Gets the snap, puts it down. Benerschke boots it up, and it's good. So with the score, the Raiders 34 and the Chargers 27. Let's take time out.
When you visit your Buick dealer, you won't have any trouble finding the aerodynamically styled 1981 Regal. It'll be the one with a crowd around it, which could make seeing the new Regal a little difficult. But do persevere and work your way through the elbows, because we'd hate for you to leave without seeing how nicely it turned out. The 1981 Regal. If you like what you see, join the crowd.
United Van Lines presents Stiller and Mira.
Sid, I'm having a nervous breakdown.
You're kidding, Lorna. You, top executive, hostess of the year, all-around pal to the kids when you're home.
I can't handle it.
You can handle anything.
I can't handle moving. I'm being transferred. We have to move.
Lorna, you're a quivering wreck.
Moving makes me ill. Packing, relocating.
No problem. I'll just call United Van Lines. United helps you move anywhere in the world.
Sid, you're so masterful. Maybe I'll stay home tonight and make dinner.
Lorna, just stick to your desk and stay out of my kitchen. United Van Lines. We're in the yellow pages.
Jim Kelly, Lindsey Nelson back for the final 6 minutes and 52 seconds of regulation here at San Diego's Jack Murphy Stadium. Of course, if the Chargers can get a tying touchdown, we could be here a lot longer.
It'll be kicked off by the San Diego Chargers. Benerschke is seated up at the 35-yard line. Dropping back, Keith Moody, Arthur Whittington to receive it for the Oakland Raiders. 7-point differential here, with the Raiders leading 34-27. As Cal Laporte's whistle, and here comes Benerschke. Whittington retreating at the 2-yard line. He takes it, comes back to the 5, to the 10, Whittington to the 15, to the 20, and he stopped at the 25-yard line, where the Oakland Raiders have it first down and 10 yards to go.
You know, it's going to take 20 minutes on a post-game show to summarize the scoring in this game.
Just about. It's been that kind of a day as expected. It was expected to be a rather high-scoring game. Jerome Dove downfield to make the last tackle for the San Diego Chargers, who convene their defensive huddle now. See what they can do about stopping the Oakland Raiders, who have a 7-point lead in this ball game.
Jim Plunkett, 13 of 17, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Slowly, Plunkett is coming up to the line now. Kenny King and Mark Van Egan are the running back. They leave this one on the ground. Going out there for 5 yards.
That on to number 30.
Van Egan got 5, so it's going to be 2nd and 5 at the 30-yard line. Bob Horn in to make the tackle.
That makes that second down call a lot easier when you pick up 5 yards on first down. Mark Van Egan, 14 carries, 59 yards rushing. You can see the Chargers now, both the interior linemen and the linebackers, grabbing for the arm and the football, trying to strip, in that case, Van Egan, trying to create the turnover, set up the offense in good field position.
They move in the slot right. Chandler's in the wide right. Will Frank is the slot back. Van Egan again. Cuts across the 35 to the 40 for a 1st and 10. Bob Horn in on the tackle.
Mark Van Egan, the ball carrier.
So it'll be 1st and 10 now for the Oakland Raiders with the ball at their own 40-yard line.
And that's the left side of that Raider offensive line asserting themselves. Art Shell, Gene Upshaw, between them 27 years pro football experience. Gene Upshaw, we told you later, the captain, Raider guard in his 23rd postseason game when they take the field here this afternoon. And that's the 10th American Conference Championship game for Upshaw, which ties the record set by George Blanda.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line. The crowd is getting aroused, trying to exhort the defense of the San Diego Chargers. They leave the ball on the ground again. Van Egan takes it to the right side, and he gets 3 yards to the 43 before Louis Kelcher brings him down. It's going to be 2nd and 7.
I get the feeling that Tom Flores does not want Jim Plunkett to put it up, despite the fact that his stats are certainly impressive. 13 of 17. He's only missed on 4 tries, no interceptions. They don't want to risk the turnover. They want to work the clock as much as they can. Keep it on the ground with the running of Mark Van Egan and the explosive scat back now, Kenny King, number 33. Don't risk the turnover. And if he does throw, if he's forced to throw on 3rd down and long, you certainly would expect him to work it to the backs on a safety valve kind of a situation.
Jensen and King are the setbacks now. King is carrying. He cuts inside the 45 to the 46-yard line before he's thrown back. The clock is running all the while. Louis Kelcher and Wilbur Young coming in to make the tackle. 4.5 minutes left to play on this game.
Over on the sideline, Don Coryell is conferring with his offensive unit. He has taken it for a given that his defense will hold them and the Chargers will get another shot at the tying touchdown. 3rd down conversions now. The Raiders 7 of 13.
3rd and 4 for the Oakland Raiders. Whittington is in there now. 3rd down play as Plunkett waits and drops back. He's looking, and he throws, and it's complete. Taken by Whittington across the 50, and he is at the 48-yard line for a 1st and 10 for the Oakland Raiders. Williams on the tackle.
Stopped by number 29, Mike Williams. Obviously, a very big play for the Raider offensive unit, and the San Diego defense should have been alerted. Doesn't take any genius to figure out they're not going to throw the ball over the middle, risk a deflection or an interception there, because you work the sideline, you throw it to the back, and that way if he's covered, you throw the ball out of bounds. Whittington should have been covered. He was not. Result, Chargers find themselves looking at a 1st and 10, but the other guys have the football.
Al Spinger's coming there in place of Mike Williams to play that right corner defensively for San Diego. 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Jensen carrying, and he gets it to the 45-yard line. Picks up 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 7. Bob Horn in to make the tackle.
Clock winding on down now, Lindsey. Inside of 3:50. It'll be about 3:15 when this play is snapped. And you get the idea that if the Oakland Raiders can pick up another 10 or 15 yards, that Tom Flores would probably try a Chris Barr field goal, because you've got the Raiders enjoying a 7-point lead right now. If they can add 3, they're not thinking touchdown. They're thinking just get Barr in a position for a field goal to make it a 10-point lead, and the San Diego Chargers would then have to score twice again.
King and Van Egan in there at the running back. Leave it on the ground to Van Egan. Puts his shoulder down and drives simply to the 44-yard line. At most a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 6 yards to go. Fred Dean made the stop for San Diego. The relentless clock is running at 3:07. Here comes Jensen back onto the field. Van Egan heading for the sideline for the Oakland Raiders, who are leading in the ballgame by a score of 34-27. The winner goes to the Super Bowl in New Orleans to play the Philadelphia Eagles. Again on 3rd down, the crowd exhorting the San Diego defense. King and Jensen are the running backs. Now contact made. Young got an early start. Moved across and made contact with Plunkett. Was he drawn off? He was not. That penalty, I think, will leave him about 3rd and 1. Maybe less than 1. That's why Cal LaFleur is coming over now with the head linesman to be ever so careful about marking off this 5-yard penalty.
Well, that obviously will hurt the San Diego Chargers. Wilbur Young, the 10-year veteran from William Penn, and nobody feels worse on the field right now than he does. He's shaking his head, pounding his helmet, because that certainly will change the 3rd down call of the Oakland Raiders.
3rd down and less than a yard to go at the 38-yard line of the San Diego Chargers.
Encroachment, 99 defense, 3rd down.
99 defense is Wilbur Young. Here comes Jensen back into the ball game. Here comes Derek Ramsey, another tight end into the ball game. Short yardage alignment, double tight end, Chester and Ramsey.
Chargers have got to guess on this play, Lindsey. They've got to try to clog up the middle. Figure they're going to go off tackle with either Van Egan or Kenny King or Whittington. It's King who's in there. And try to jam up the middle. Gamble, try to anticipate the count and meet the ball carrier there.
Van Egan and King. Van Egan, and he picks up the 1st down going off the right side at the 35-yard line. It's 1st and 10 for the Oakland Raiders. So the Oakland Raiders keep their drive alive, and the clock is still running. It's wound down now to 2 minutes, 25 seconds as we approach the automatic timeout that comes at the 2-minute warning. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line of San Diego. Oakland leading by 7 points.
And they don't have to snap this one before the 2-minute warning. Chargers have all 3 of their timeouts. The Raiders have 2 of their timeouts left. And they're working their way well within Chris Farr field goal range.
2:01-2, and there is the whistle. There's a pause in the action with the score. The Oakland Raiders 34, the San Diego Chargers 27. Let's take timeout.
2 minutes left in regulation. The Raiders sitting on a 7-point lead, 34-27. Oakland has 2 timeouts left. San Diego has 3 of theirs. But the Oakland Raiders, wild card winners in the AFC West. They defeated the Houston Oilers to get here. And then the Cleveland Browns have it first and 10 at the 34 of San Diego.
Jensen and King are the setbacks. They leave it on the ground to Jensen. He drives in and picks up a couple of yards to the 33-yard line before Fred Dean brings him down. There's a timeout on the field with the score. Oakland 34, San Diego 27.
Chargers now, you have 2 timeouts left. You've got 1:56, and you've got to stop the Oakland Raiders on 2nd down and long, call timeout. Stop them again on 3rd and long, call timeout, and then hopefully block a Chris Farr field goal try.
2nd and 8 at the 33-yard line. Van Egan and Jensen are the setbacks in the ball game. Come out on the slot left for Jim Plunkett. Handing it off to Van Egan. He hits in across the 30-yard line, just across the 30. Picks up 3 yards. It'll be 3rd and 5. Just inside the 30. Leroy Jones in on the tackle for San Diego. Another timeout taken by the San Diego Chargers to stop the clock with 1:52 showing.
And this, of course, the key 3rd down play in this football game. 3rd down, 5 yards to go. The ball at the San Diego Charger 30-yard line. You looked at 3rd down conversions. Well, the Oakland Raiders now, what is that, 14 of 19? But this is the play of the football game, Lindsey. For the San Diego Chargers, your defense has got to get in there, pinch the outsides, not allow Kenny King to get to the outside, pinch the middle, try to stop Van Egan shy of 1st down yardage. You've got to assume they'll go with the power back here. Van Egan maybe on some kind of a draw play or a trap play to pick up the 5 yards, and then take your last time out. And I'm anticipating that Flores would elect to try the field goal to put it out of reach. Of course, when you do that, you sometimes risk the block field goal, and then the Chargers get it in pretty good field position. With a punter like Ray Guy, maybe you'd bring him in and try to punt it in the coffin corner. All of that and all of those possibilities are going through the mind not only of Tom Flores, but certainly Don Coryell. 16 weeks of the regular season, the long, hot, grueling summer, the 2 weekends of playoffs, certainly for the wild card Oakland Raiders, the 1 week rest, and then the big victory over the Buffalo Bills, and it all comes down to this play.
Whittington and Van Egan are the setbacks on a 3rd and 5 at the 30-yard line. Flores and Plunkett were in a long conference during the timeout. Plunkett waiting for the snap now. Dropping back to throw, and Plunkett now runs it to the 30, 25, and he's got the 1st down. He hits the deck at the 24-yard line. Nobody very near him when he hit the deck. He knew where the sticks were. He simply wanted the 1st down, and he got it. So it is 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
And that is just about that. The Chargers will have 1 timeout left. The clock is now inside a minute and a half. And the Oakland Raiders, in what was supposed to be for them, Lindsey Nelson, a rebuilding year. Not many expected them to be this far. It was a rebuilding year. They traded their veteran quarterback, Kenny Stabler, tight end Dave Casper to the Houston Oilers. They got Dan Pastorini. He was supposed to lead them, but he went down. And Jim Plunkett has guided these Raiders all the way to New Orleans in Super Bowl 15.
He's handing this one off to Van Egan. Van Egan dives up to the 21-yard line for 3. It's going to be 2nd down and 7 yards to go. The final timeout of the San Diego Chargers is taken now. They have spent their last one with 1:01 remaining to be played in this game, and the Oakland Raiders leading by a score of 34-27. The Oakland Raiders now walking around in a loose huddle, congratulating each other, realizing that the San Diego Chargers do not have a further timeout, and that with a 2nd down and 6 yards to go coming up, the Oakland Raiders are pretty much in command of the situation here, and the crowd is quiet. The sellout crowd here at San Diego Jack Murphy Stadium that has come out here in a holiday spirit because it's been that way all week long here in San Diego in anticipation of this championship game by their Oakland Raiders, or rather by their San Diego Chargers. But the Oakland Raiders this afternoon got off to a roaring start in this ball game and have been pretty much in charge of it. Coming out after the halftime intermission, the San Diego Chargers got 10 points to cut the lead to 4, but then the Oakland Raiders came right back.
Lindsey, all kinds of quotes all week long about all of the key matchups. Fred Dean, Gary Johnson going up against Shell and Upshaw, the veterans there. The key matchup, whether or not the San Diego defense could shut down Cliff Branch, what Joyner and Jefferson would do against Lester Hayes. But in the end, Dan Fouts said yesterday it would come down to breaks. The team that got the breaks, the team that turned the ball over less. Well, the Oakland Raiders with 1 turnover, and Dan Fouts' San Diego Chargers with 4.
Plunkett takes the ball, just hits the deck. They're in a formation to allow the quarterback to step back 1 big step, hits the deck, and the clock is running, and San Diego can't stop it. 45 seconds remaining. Slowly, the Oakland Raiders go back into their huddle. They can snap it one more time, and that will be that. Ball is now on the 23-yard line as they come slowly up there. Once it's past 30, they know they don't have to do anything but let Plunkett take it, hit the deck, and that is all. He takes it, he hits the deck, and now the clock can run out. It says 20 seconds, but they don't have to snap it anymore. Hendricks comes from the sideline. He is enough to congratulate the offense. Here come the Oakland Raiders. They have won the football game as the clock is wound down to 10 seconds. Slowly, the San Diego Chargers are heading for their locker room. It's high jubilation for the Oakland Raiders. 1 second, and that's the end of the ball game between the Oakland Raiders and the San Diego Chargers, where the final score was Oakland 34, San Diego 27.